Hello? Hello? Is anybody out there? I can't see, it's dark. There's just rats. Hello? Oh, shit. Fuck! Hello? The YouTube audio's still on? Okay. I mean, I guess it was good to have an audio check. But, yeah, what's up? What's up? We have a bunch of faces around. Cuden, McRightface, Olaf the Moose, Deep Source, Mateus, Sothia Muzi, Sakura Worldbeater, GS, the lads, the gits, CJ! So, guys, girls, lads, lasses, friends, foes, there is so much cool shit going on. There's so much cool shit going on, you guys. So what is there to share with you? We have a new player tournament today, which is cool. And why is my light still not really illuminating me at all? Let's turn on the overhead light too. A bit, but not worth it. I think it's because it's so bright outside. It's making everything else seem dark. Whatever, I'm just gonna be dark today. We have things and stuff. Today we have a new player tournament. Saturday, we have a clan war. My clan, NC, I didn't make it, I'm just part of it. NC, the Night Crew, versus ODM, Order de Malta. That'll be fun. No shade against my own team. I am a part of it, but I do think ODM will probably win, but man, we're going to give them a go. Then on Sunday, we have a campaign, free-for-all, King of the Hill type thing. That'll be fun. With some of the usual crew, but we got Goji and Rinless to sub in with us, so that'll be fun. And then we have a faction war going on right now, and those games are... I have 8 left before we'll be at the top 4, and I'll stream both the sides once we have all the replays in from them until top 4. So that's going on. And then we have... the faction face-off is back, and we just got that solidified today. We have the forces of nature against the undead. We got that solidified, got that up and going. So we have 6 new contestants fighting against the undead. I believe that the undead have won 4 in a row, but this time might be harder for them. They almost lost the last round, but Segos, ODM Segos, I think he knocked out 5 of the 6 opponents. It was that or 4, but I think it was 5. And after that event, Segos is like, yeah, fuck this noise about. So he backed out. We got Complex Slayer in to replace him. But Segos is a legend. No shot against Complex Slayer. None at all. Not trying to be a dick, but I do think Segos is like top 3 in the current active land battle players. So, yeah. Yeah. He's next level different. He's built diff. It's like having Alfredino on your team, right? People are like, oh, okay, Alfredino's gonna carry. Segos is, right now, kind of on that level, man. He's kind of scary. Complex Slayer's gonna do good. It's gonna do good. I think if anybody's going to solo carry this time, I think it's going to be Crested Karkara. He's also been playing really, really well. Also known as Butcherbird. So we'll see. Anyway, Rider of Rohan also came in to be High Elves as a funny joke. Because Anarian is dead. He's the hero of the High Elves in, like, ancient times. So since we have Undead, I just kind of made up the plot point of Nagash rising Anarian from the grave to get Rider of Rohan in here. So that's all the fun stuff we got going on right now. Lots of cool and exciting events. Galrach gave me a replay. Cool. TY. ODM isn't ready for my Skaven healing kite? That's not a real thing! I hate it. Deep Source, you got your ass kicked in your first ranked games yesterday? It happens, man. It happens. For today, focusing up, no more talk of the exciting things in the future. We have the exciting things in the present. We do have ourselves a new player tournament. Now, there are no scores here yet because I haven't hit refresh bracket, but there would be spoilers if I hit that button. I gave my players 30 minutes head start to get us some replays to watch, so we don't have to follow them live and maybe deal with the lag, maybe wait around for our next game. And if you haven't seen any of our new player tournaments, this is how it's going to go. There are 4 rounds of Swiss. This looks confusing, but each column has every single player in it, so you can see Guillaume is right here, and then in the next column, he's down there, and then in the next column, he's up there, and then in the next column, he's down there. So each player has 4 games to play against a randomly generated opponent. After those 4 guaranteed games, I will take the top X number of players. X because I don't fucking know how many. If 2 players get a perfect 4-0 across the board, they never lost, and that's it. Everyone else is 3, 2, or 1. I can just have those 2 players play a final, and that's our winner. But if we have, like, 4 people tied at 3 wins, then we'll deal with that, right? So I don't know. But once we get to the end, we'll determine how many people are tied near the top, do some tiebreakers, and figure out a winner from there. But everybody gets guaranteed 4 games. Looking at our contestants for today, we have some people I have never seen before, which is always promising. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see new faces. But I am going to... Oh, this is a little hard because Guillaume jumped in. Losaurus is all right, too. I'm still going to go with Durthu. Durthu, also known as Galrach, was probably my tournament favorite for today. He had a good run in last week's or 2 weeks ago tournament. Whenever he was last playing, he got to finals, and he had 1 bad game. And he lost finals. And it was a bad game. Like, he made mistakes. Not trying to be an asshole, just saying. His Mutalith Vortex Beast got caught way out, and then it got shot by 2 Salamander hunting packs while surrounded in enemy infantry. And it couldn't get healed in time, and it got killed. And he lost the Mutalith, like, right away. And from there, the game wasn't that close. So, like, shit happens. He stumbled at the finish line. But before that, he was having an absolute great run. And I think he'll just have an absolutely great run today and then probably finish it out. His biggest problem probably be Guillaume, and Losaurus could do some upset stuff, but if I had to put my money on one player, I think Durthu/Galrach, whichever you want to call him, is probably going to take it today. So let's go find out. Enough stalling, enough faffing about. Let's get into our first game, which is from Losaurus, one of the people I said we're going to want to keep our eye on. And I do have a blocker up just because I have a lot of Faction War replays saved. And if at the top you see Faction War like, Demons of Chaos versus Slaanesh top 4, you're like, oh, so Demons of Chaos and Slaanesh make it to the top 4. Okay. That's some spoilers. Alright, first game of the night is Losaurus and Rogue Consultant. Chaos Dwarves and High Elves. Has Pigman and Rocket finally played their Faction War game? Yes. How are those lore videos coming along? Let's see. I just have to edit it. The proof that it exists. Okay. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, guys. Well, they need a dragon, not if they get into trouble. There. It exists. I re-recorded it. Okay. Yeah. GS, I purposefully made an impossible scenario so there weren't any real spoilers. That is a Lamasu. I'm noticing already we have some spice. That is a Lamasu mount. So, Chaos Dwarves versus High Elves. For the Chaos Dwarves, we have some Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with their bows. I thought I saw a third in the loading screen, but I guess it was just 2. We have Ashen Stark Ravagers, the Bull Centaur Renders Regiment of Renown. They have these little armor-piercing grenade type things. And then another 2 Bull Centaur Renders, so very heavy cav component for the Chaos Dwarves, not something we're used to seeing. Do have a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with Burning Head and Cascading Fire Cloak, but he's on his Lamasu mount, so he gets a Bound Withering and a Bound Enfeebling Foe. Hobgoblin Cutthroats, Goblin Laborers, and Chaos Dwarf Warriors make up the infantry component of this Chaos Dwarf roster, and they did not bring any of their very, very good ranged units, so this is rather bold. On the other side, we have Silver Helms, Imric on horse with all of his buffs besides that. Towns of Torquelada paired up with some basic archers, White Lions of Crace and Spearmen for a couple frontline, and War Lions of Crace with a Beasts caster with only Flock of Doom. Interesting. So no healing for the High Elves. War Lions of Crace are definitely overextending here. They don't have archer support, so they're not buying time for anything right now, and they don't have infantry support, so they're going to lose the melee fight. They are getting decent damage onto the Hobgoblin Wolf Riders. They're honestly doing better than I would have thought for how bad the situation is for them. And if a Flock of Doom could get overcast in this blob right now, that actually could be pretty decent for the High Elves. But overall, this is a bit of an overextension from the red player and a bit of a blob from the green player. So both sides maybe could clean that up just a little bit. Imric does pop his Dragon Horn, giving himself some melee stats, but his Silver Helms abandon him after losing 2/3 of their HP, leaving him alone against all these Bull Centaur renders. And Imric on a horse has the problem every horse character has in that their mass is not actually very good, and even infantry slow them down significantly. Silver Helms are going to come back and try and sort this out. While Spearmen did arrive to support the War Lions of Crace, and White Lions also got there, a nasty Burning Head will immediately take out that spear support. The War Lions are all routing, and this leaves the White Lions of Crace, the infantry lion version, all alone. Back in the Imric sphere, Silver Helms did charge in on Hobgoblin Cutthroats, trying to get rid of them, giving Imric a little bit of space to work, and he's not taking as much damage as I would have expected. Looks like the Bull Centaur renders are having troubles getting to him because there's little Hobgoblins in the way. And Silver Helms are going to keep cycle charging, trying to bail him out, and he almost squeaks his way out of this blob fight. And man, he really wants to get going. Remember, there is no healing for him at all. He cannot get any more health than he currently has. He's not Tyrion. He doesn't have a get-out-of-jail-free card if he gets low enough and happens not to break. So things are looking a little rough for the High Elves, honestly. For the Chaos Dwarves, their skirmish cap have taken decent damage, but all three of their Bull Centaur renders are very healthy and doing fine. Their Sorcerer Prophet is also just chilling. Their infantry has also taken a bit of a beating, though. So the High Elves are winning the frontline fight, and so far the High Elf range seems mostly secure. But the Chaos Dwarves are almost done sniping Imric. He is down to 2,000 HP. The Chaos Dwarves are also dominating the mobile game, which is very important in this matchup. And I think we'll come down to a late game where it's just some High Elf Spearmen and White Lions of Crace getting cycle charged over and over again by rather healthy monstrous cavalry, which is not usually a winning situation for the High Elves. Towns of Torquelada is an interesting choice. Fire damage and fire resistance, but they give you weakness to fire damage. And honestly, a lot of the Chaos Dwarf roster doesn't have fire resist. People assume it does, but it's mostly just the Chaos Dwarves themselves. None of the goblins do. I don't think even hobgoblins have fire resist. No, they don't. Bull Centaurs do have a bit. Chaos Dwarves have a bit. But the Talons kind of counteract that with the weakness to fire damage. I think they were mostly taken for the fire resistance, so that if enemy Hobgoblin archers were counter-firing with the Towns of Torquelada, that fire resist would help them out quite a bit. As a big Burning Head does go down the side, once again, the fire resist coming in clutch, and the Talons seem just fine. As these archers try and dodge, but they dodge into it, plus the Burning Head curves into them, so a double misfortune for the red team, and that archer gets nearly entirely taken out. High Elves are clawing back a little bit of balance of power. Just a teensy little bit. The Hashets, I don't know why I went with Blashets. Anyway, Hash's Dark Ravagers are full health and surrounding this little caster. We have a half-health Bull Centaur render running for the Towns of Torquelada. And man, this fight's been going on the whole game, and it hasn't amounted to much. One Bull Centaur render has taken significant damage, so have the Hobgoblins, but Imric's almost dead. And the Silver Helms have just been cycle charging in and out, so, I mean, better than I would have guessed, but still not great. Lamasu Rider dives down. He's used his Enfeebling Foe. He's used his Withering. There goes the Beasts caster. There go all of the archers, and the High Elves are quickly getting down to just their infantry like we predicted. They do have 2 healthy spears, 2 healthy White Lions of Crace, another half-health White Lion of Crace on the high ground, but at last the Silver Helms finally break, leaving Imric truly alone, and the Bull Centaur renders will take advantage of that. He's down to 1,000 HP and falling. New player tournament number 69 when? That would be 30 weeks from today, so a little over half a year. Imric is retreating back to his infantry, which is nice. And the balance of power is going really far against the High Elves. I don't know if I'd go that far. They're definitely disfavored, but I think if Imric could find some solace and just hide in his infantry That could make this pretty annoying for the Bull Centaur Renders to get to him. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that, as he is charging some Goblin Laborers. Looks like he's trying to rout them off, but he's currently taking some grenades from Hatchet Stark Ravagers, and he is in hot pursuit from these Bull Centaur Renders who catch up to him, knock him down, and rout him. And that'll probably be army losses quite soon, as the grenades continue to get thrown at the White Lions of Grace, getting a little bit of damage down. And there's another Burning Head. I thought the Burning Head would go on the 3 units stacked up, but it actually catches out 2 units stacked up, which is still a good Burning Head. Might get them to rout. I imagine the Chaos Dwarf player at this point is just like, army losses take over. We all know I have it. I just have to clear out all these infantry that are scattered across the map. Which, since I have cavalry advantage, I can definitely do. Imric, 400 HP. Still getting bullied around a bit by these Bull Centaur Renders, but his 60 melee defense is making it really annoying for them to finish him off. Because they only have 34 melee attack. They don't have bonus versus large. So they're just like, dude, give it up. Just die. There we go. Imric is down. The leadership of the High Elves will spike, and that should be army losses for real. I promise this time. There it is. Good game 1 to start it off. Okay, sorry. We had someone message me about tournament things, so I got distracted for a moment. For the source and his Lamasu mounted lord, decent value on him, 1,500, 1,600 actually. He didn't take that much damage, so he had plenty of health left. Bull Centaur Renders all did pretty darn well. Hobgoblin Wolf Riders got shut down. The front line also did not do too well. The High Elves kind of pounded that area, but the Bull Centaur Renders and the Lord were enough to carry through the game. For Rogue Consultant, Imric was a little too ballsy. He definitely needed to back off, though he lasted longer than I would have imagined. The White Lions of Grace also, I thought, were a little too aggressive, but they ended up getting decent value and really holding up that flank for a while. I still think they should have maybe delayed their attack by like 20 seconds, because we saw Spearmen and White Lions of Grace get there eventually. It was just a little too delayed. White Lions and Spearmen did fine. They held forever, and the Archers did okay. Yeah, they did fine. I think if the Silverhelms, Imric, and the War Lions had played a little bit more back and got those big blob fights we saw in range of the Archers and in range of the Flock of Doom, I think this game could have been a lot closer. Maybe Lasaurus would have still won it. I'm not saying that alone is like, yeah, for sure, the Chaos Dwarfs will lose. But, like, it would have been better if there was Flock of Dooms on that big blob we saw appear on the War Lions, or if Archers had been firing in that whole time. But that just wasn't the case. The Archers weren't in range to support either of the fights that happened on the flanks. So, shit happens. Which is fine if you're going to win him. But if you're going to lose him, you need to lose slowly and express your range advantage, right? Okay. Excuse me. Next game. Beastmen Empire. Renner versus Tlaut. Dude, I always screw up his name. Tlatoani. Tlatani. Oh, do it every time. Oh, you get the point. Beastmen versus Empire. A classic lore matchup, though honestly not a very frequent flyer on the channel. I don't know why. I just don't see a ton of Beastmen Empire in my life. Never have, really. And by a ton, I mean, it's never a matchup that I'm like, oh, this again, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's like, oh, this is kind of cool, kind of fresh. Johnny. Okay. Got it. Lamb sauce with the $5. Sigmar approves of this rat stream. Thank you, sir. The support is appreciated for reasons. Real life reasons. Problems. Problems and conflicts. Okay. Since we're in some Vanguard, I'm going to pause real quick to go through the armies, otherwise the game will be well underway by the time I finish. We have 3 Centaurs melee, 2 Centaurs with throwing axes. A lot deployed in the Vanguard. 1 Harpy. And then we have some Ungor Raiders, 3 of them. A Razor Gore Herd, some Spearmen. Gore Herds with shields on the front line. Chaos Warhound, the Butcher's Cavalry Guard, and a Bray Shaman of Death with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Very different Beastman build from what we're used to seeing these days. On the side of the Empire, we do have 2 Pistoliers, 3 Crossbowmen, 2 Demigryph Knights with Halberds, one of which is the Royal Altdorf Griffites, then Halberdiers and Spearmen for some troops. We have Boris Todbringer and a Lifecaster, Regrowth and Earthblood. Once again, not a combo we see very often, but the Regrowth and Earthblood is good here. I'm not arguing with it. It's great for the Demigryph Knights with Halberds. You just don't usually see Boris taken if you're taking a Jade Wizard. You usually see Franz. I really like Boris here versus the Beastmen. He's excellent versus low leadership factions like Norska, Beastmen, Skaven, those kinds of things. So I think this is really creative, and I think it is good. Demigryph Knights trying to fight the Centaurs, and Centaurs want nothing to do with it. Those Demigryph Knights are way too armored, and then they have Terror, and the Centaurs would just lose and then get pushed off the map very quickly. Goreherd taking a lot of damage. They will Terror out very swiftly from Boris, plus the overlapping fire. There they go. Usually a reason we don't see Goreherds much is just because they kind of like... You're paying a bit more for still just weak chaff. You might as well just go with the cheap weak chaff, the Ungor Spearmen. Those Crossbowmen are being left alone in the back line. It looks like Pistoliers and maybe Demigryph Knights are going to try and defend them, but there's way too many Beastmen, Light Cav, and Dog units that can just fly in and kill these guys. And even if the Demigryph Knights respond, you'll still lose your crossbows in the process, so the Beastmen will take that as a win. The frontline fight is going well for the Empire. They're blobbing up a little bit, but Boris is offering support to some of the fights, so he'll win those pretty quickly. It looks like he's going to go dive on some Centaurs right now. But there go the Crossmen. The Empire is going to lose their back line. 3 Crossbowmen isn't like a game-losing amount of backline, but you never want to lose your ranged units, otherwise why'd you bring them, right? All 3 Crossmen are shut down. For the Beastmen, they still have their 3 archers up, though their front line is falling apart quite rapidly, and soon state troops will be pressuring those Ungor Raiders and forcing them back. The Butchers of Cavalry Guard look like they're maybe trying to play policeman a little bit and follow Boris around the map, though they're slow on the draw. If they are wherever he's about to land, then that'll be rather effective, but it's very difficult to keep up with a flying horde like that. Royal Altdorf Griffites are somewhere. There they are. Their flag was just very far from their model. They will catch out these Centaurs with great weapons. Should do good damage to them. Even though those guys have armor piercing, their melee stats are just way too low to cut through the Demigryph Knights. So the Demigryph should do fine there. They're catching out more throwing axes too. So the Centaurs are paying a heavy price for shutting down those 3 Crossmen. At least the Empire's firing back. Pistoliers and Centaurs throwing axes trading back and forth a little bit. That trade definitely favors the Pistoliers because they're cheaper and they don't have armor piercing missiles. Butchers still being kept in reserve. Looks like they're mostly trying to defend the Ungor Raiders from Boris and the Demigryph Knights, so they're going to have to get involved soon. Because Boris is here now. You're going to have to stop him from doing what he wants. First Spirit Leech is out. Butchers still inactive. The Empire's sweeping up the back line after the casualties that were inflicted to them. A lot of their front line, while it is winning, neither front line is exactly feeling great right now. They've both taken so much damage. There we go. The Butchers are at last ordered onto Boris, and Boris needs to piece out of here if he knows what's good for him, but it doesn't look like he actually gets away in time, and now the Butchers catch up to him. They'll get some decent chunk onto him, and while he can maybe get back up into this guy and maybe heal it off, when you have a self-healing character on a roster with a healing wizard, you know he's going to hit that heal cap unless you just snipe him out entirely, so might as well get the damage down. Why not? Pistoliers caught up in some Centaurs throwing axes and Chaos Warhounds. They will take a lot of damage for that and get shut down while the Royal Altdorf Griffites peel off these Centaurs and get a regrowth for themselves. How's the other Demigryph Knight doing? Very healthy. So for the Empire, their win condition is these 2 Demigryph Knights and Boris. As if Fate of Buna hits them, I guess they're 32 models. Yeah, the Fate of Buna should do quite good damage. Another Earthblood out, trying to heal them up a little bit more. But once again, similar to the Boris argument, in the current state of healing, you know that you're going to hit the heal cap, right? You're going to hit it, so you might as well get the damage out. And that Fate of Buna did really good work, so nice cast there from the Beastmen. Bounce power is about 50-50, and I do agree. The Beastmen still have a lot of archers up. They have tattered Light Cav, but Light Cav around that could still chase off things that route. And they have done a good amount of damage to Boris and to the Royal Altdorf Griffites. So I definitely see why the bounce power would be 50-50, now even leaning Beastmen favored. I still think the bounce power is more 50-50 than even leaning favored, because these Demigryph Knights are going to be a problem. The Royal Altdorf Griffites have not lost a lot of models, so I imagine they'll be getting Earthbloods and Regrowths as they're available, keeping them at full fighting capacity. Boris is just going to have to be careful of of the butchers, wherever they are. He's going to land and fight some chaff for now. That'll be good for him. Took a bit of damage while approaching those archers, but he's fine. As long as he avoids the butchers, he's fine. The Empire wants him to pick off random stuff that's off in the distance, and he wants the butchers to get stuck fighting both of these Demigryph Knights with maybe some Empire Spearmen support, and then they'll die, and the Empire can win the whole game. Speaking of which, Spearmen support, Demigryph Knights with halberds, fighting the Butchers of Kalkengard. Now, unfortunately, the Royal Altdorf Gryphites are extremely wounded and getting shot by arrows. This isn't an ideal situation for the Empire, but it's probably the best one they're going to get for now. They still do have the Butchers, they still are getting some counter damage down, and Boris is landing on other places getting his work done, while Halberdiers and Spearmen stream in to shut down those archers and maybe save some of the Demigryph Knights. Still 27 out of 32 models. Their damage is very much alive. They just need some healing to give a little bit more oomph to those health bars and keep them online. Butchers have taken about half their HP since we last checked in on them. They're healing slowly, but can the Demigryph Knights spook them off? They cause terror, so the Royal Altdorf Gryphites can't terror bomb them. Here's the exact situation that you want as the Empire. Oof. Halberds surrounding these guys while the Demigryph Knights sandwich them in. That is going to get rid of their leadership, and the Butchers of Kalkengard are going to rout. Holy crap, they hold for some reason. Surely they rout. There we go. Their health bar's been skyrocketing. I guess that's plummeting. That's not skyrocketing unless the sky is down. It's been a tough day, guys. It's been a tough day. All right, give me some slack. The Butchers are routing. Boris is heal capped, getting Spirit Leeched yet again, but I think this is the Empire's game to lose at this point. The Beastmen just have nothing that can really stay in the fight. Their archers are all routing as soon as anything looks at them. The Gore Herds are doing the same. And the Deathcaster spamming out Spirit Leeches onto Boris, but with still 3,000 HP, he's going to be difficult to take out with that. You're still single, right? I am not married. Correct. That's in June. June. Butchers of Kalkengard were actually allowed to rally. Looks like the Demigryph Knights were needed elsewhere, so they are going to regen up and try and come back in the fight. With only 4 models, I wonder how much they can really do, but it's better than not having them, so whatever. Royal Altdorf Gryphites, 23 models, 21 on the other Demigryph Knights. I don't know how many Spirit Leeches they have left. We've seen one Fate of Buna this game. Another Spirit Leech onto Boris, really trying to get rid of him, and I can appreciate that as the archers continue to fire at the Royal Altdorf Gryphites and the other Demigryphs. Curious that they're not just trying to finish off Boris. It feels like they're splitting their focus a little bit. Spirit Leeching Boris, but then shooting at the Demigryphs. You could just do all of one to one or the other. Great Bray Shaman finally gets involved in melee combat. He does get a free charge onto Boris, so that gives him his charge bonus, which on a Chariot is 70. Rather impressive. And the Butchers are once again fighting Demigryph Knights. They're getting wrecked right now, and Halberds are coming up on the flanks. So that's not going to be a good trade for them. But I think they're just happy to have found a fight somewhere. As Harpies do charge down on the Royal Altdorf Gryphites, getting a little bit of damage down. And the archers are now firing onto Boris, the last of their arrows. They are now out of arrows, and here come the Royal Altdorf Gryphites surrounding the Great Bray Shaman of Death. As I see a shadow of a Spirit Leech in my periphery, it feels like the Beastmen are splitting their focus a little bit too much here. Like, Spirit Leeching Boris, I know he's heal capped, that's fine, but then we're also charging the Royal Altdorf Gryphites, and we're shooting at the other ones. I don't know. Their damage is getting spread out all over the place. They gotta focus some shit down. This is the game end moment as Demigryphs pile in on both sides of the Great Bray Shaman. He is now locked in place and never leaving this little tangle of knights unless the knights disengage for some reason. He should get cut to pieces by those Demigryphs, which are surrounding him. Big Earthblood heals up those guys. Boris even thinks about diving in to just add insult to injury. That's roughly it for the Beastmen. They don't got anything left. Another Spirit Leech onto Boris. The Demigryph Knights continue to harass and poke around this Great Bray Shaman of Death. Boris' leadership debuffs might get him to terror out. And when he terror outs, I wouldn't be shocked if army losses hit just because nothing else of significance is on the map. Being army lost really lowers your balance of power weight. One more Spirit Leech might kill Boris, but it is too late. Lord Terror routed. And army losses is just blinking on the edge. But the Great Bray Shaman manages to rally. But another Earthblood on those Demigryph Knights will seal their fate. Too much damage, too much stuff. Archers are trying to chase off Boris Toddbringer for now. They can't catch up to him, though. They might want to just turn and shoot at the Demigryphs or something. Empire has some rallying state troops coming back to the fight over there. Demigryph Knights are maybe routing. And the Great Bray Shaman has gotten a lot of support. Could this be a wild comeback? Spirit Leech onto the Royal Altar of Gryphites. They rout. They're taking significant damage as spears surround these Demigryph Knights. Hold on! Hold on! But Boris is back. How many Spirit Leeches are in the tank of this Great Bray Shaman? That's actually a very critical question. Hold on! Don't call it a comeback! Oh shit, the Demigryph Knights are coming back. As the Great Bray Shaman tries to get away from those armor-piercing halberd cav, he needs to get back to his chaff, and he does. They're getting slowly dragged down. Boris is trying to come back, and the archers are focusing on him as the Demigryph Knights try and rear charge them. If they can get one volley off, that'll rout Boris again and keep them out of this fight, but they shatter because of the rear charge from the Demigryph Knights. Now an unholy blob of Beastmen infantry are fighting it out, trying to keep their Great Bray Shaman safe. He needs 2 more Spirit Leeches to win this game. 1 to kill Boris, and 1 to get rid of the regular Demigryph Knights, because the Royal Altar Gryphites are so low that honestly they could even get dragged down by chaff. Beastmen have some archers with ammos coming in from the side, and the Great Bray Shaman is out again. He throws out a Spirit Leech onto Boris, but this might get him to isolate. He's down to 5 leadership, and I think, yes, he can tear out again. There is army losses, as the Spirit Leech was 47 HP away from killing Boris, and it was still active. I think that was a little silly on the army losses, but I get it. I get it, but it was a little silly. Plastic bag, I'm sorry, your Spanish class is hella boring. Deep Source, that sounds lovely. For Renner, 4,400 value on his Deathcaster. Centaurs overall did fine between all their variants. Goreherds did okay. Harpies did great. Archers did amazing. And the Ungor Spimmerherds did fine. For Tlatwani, Boris did not get a lot of value, but he never does. He's a support lord. He's an okay duelist, but it's really his debuffs you're after, and he just runs a ton of stuff off the map, and then he can self-heal and all those things. The Empire State Troops probably didn't get a ton of value, but they did put a lot of pressure out on the battlefield all game, so they did do very well. Pistoliers did alright, and the Demigryph Knights carried a lot of the value for the Empire. So GG. Ugh. I've been sick for a while, so I'm still not 100%. Okay. Saving up some replays people are sending. As far as the tourney goes, I'm going to check on the bracket. We are almost all the way through round 2. We have a Dark Elf Mirror. With the return of a legend. Treetone. Haven't seen him for a bit. Treetone is back. Versus Olaf the Moose. I don't know if I've ever seen Olaf the Moose. We have a Dark Elf Mirror. We also have a Malice Darkblade Mirror. Okay, that's fine. I love Malice Darkblade. I love that he can double heal cap. That's my favorite part of Malice Darkblade. And I love that now he can quadruple heal cap, because there's 2 of him. For Dark Elves 1, we have Malice Darkblade, Beastcast with Flock of Doom and the Manticore summon, Dark Riders and Cold One Knights, Crows of Cain, 3 Dark Shards with shields, and then Dread Spears and Blackheart Corsairs. On the other side, for Dark Elves 2, we have a couple Blackheart Corsairs, 3 Blackheart Corsair handbows, 2 Dark Rider Repeater crossbows, some Dark Riders with shields, a Cold One Knight, a Cold One Dread Knight, Malice Darkblade, the Siren of Red Ruin, and a Sorceress of Shadows with Pit of Shades and Melkoth. So it's Kite Dark Elves versus kind of like more standard Dark Elves. Are there new player tourneys with EU time? Yes, and this is one of them, isn't it? Isn't it? This feels like an EU time. It's the middle of the day over here in NA. Anyway, Dark Riders are going to get a rear charge on the other Dark Riders who are trying to catch those Repeater Crossbows. The Repeater Crossbows do get 1 volley off and then start retreating, but they stop retreating, and they now get charged by those green Dark Riders. So both Dark Riders taking a bit of damage. That's about an even trade, because these Dark Riders are dead, but that's after they took a volley from the skirmish cav. After they got into melee, it was actually a pretty even trade. Crows of Cain are also going to dive onto repeater crossbows, but there's an awful lot of red cavalry in this area. I think green might be in a bit of trouble. Actually, as I say that, they do have some Dark Riders and Coldland Knights coming up to support as well, but they don't have Malice. The Reds have their Malice here, and that's going to be pretty big for their chances of winning this fight, while the other Malice and his Manticore are trying to join now. They're just a little late to the fight. Dark Shards firing in on the skirmish variant of the Black Arc Corsair handbows, and Dark Shard should win that without the Siren of Red Ruin wrecking them, of course, but we'll see. Crows of Cain get rear charged. Their leadership does manage to hold while they're still regenerating up a little bit while fighting the repeater crossbows. They do eventually break. And Red Malice and his Coldland Knights are now outmatched. Their Dread Knights and Dark Riders abandoned this fight, so the green has overwhelming numerical superiority, and they also threw a Dread Spear at it. Now, unfortunately, the Manticore is just getting to the fight, and he only has 30 seconds of health left, so that summon probably should have been cast a little closer to the fight it was intended to be used in. Elsewhere, the green front line is getting poked off. It looks like the Siren of Red Ruin has helped decide that fight one way or the other. Malice and the Manticore will get rid of some of these Coldland Knights, but a rear charge in from the Dark Riders and Coldland Dread Knights should seal the fate of the green Coldland Knights, at least until these other guys join. I thought there was a second green Coldland Knight. Is it already dead? Because I only see that one now. Yeah, I guess it must already be dead. Dread Spear is coming back to help once again. That will be very good for the green team. Overall, I think that bottom fight should go to green eventually at this point after they've thrown everything at it. Frontline fight, still very mixed. There's two Dark Shards that are chilling, but this one should get rear charged by these Black Arc Corsair handbows in melee. They should just go into melee mode and walk after them, and then the Siren of Red Ruin can do some decent damage elsewhere. Big Pit of Shades, but for who? It is the red team casting it on the green team. They have the Shadow Sorceress, and that will get rid of their Bleak Swords, Dread Spears that were their only real support here, and the rest of their cav is pushed off. Now for red, it's not like red has an abundance of cav over here, as these Cold Knights are pretty much dead, Dark Riders are pretty much dead, but they do have a half-health Coldland Dread Knight that survived the Pit of Shades, and then the Malice duel. So after that nasty Pit of Shades, red should win that flank fight. Repeater Crossbow still being harassed by the Crows of Cain. The Beastcaster is waiting to chuck out a second Manticore to offer a little bit more support. Ooh, also green peeled off one of their Dark Riders and used it to go save some of their Dark Shards and such. But two Dark Shards are currently getting attacked by Black Arc Corsair handbows, and one of them is actually going to get dove on by the Siren of Red Ruin too. So green is running into a bit of trouble with their Dark Shards being stopped. Siren is in, Dark Shards are out. Tzarkan is popped for green Malice. Red Malice is just trying to get away and buy some time. Let green Malice kill himself off as much as possible before both have the demon duel. Coldland Dread Knight surrounding the Sorceress of Beast. She is on foot, which makes her a little bit tankier against these big boys. It won't last forever, Sorceress of Beasts. It won't last forever. Green is still trying to get some of their Dark Shards back online. Two of them are so low that I really don't think they'll be much of an impact in this game, but there's still one that's doing okay, and Dark Riders trying to do a little bit, but the Siren of Red Ruin's going to peel them off with some nasty little laser bolts. Laser gun. Dark Shard's now firing on the Siren of Red Ruin, getting good damage down. Looks like she's just going for a melee charge onto them, and they're now trying to run away. I don't know if they'll get any meaningful distance before she catches up to them anyway. So we'll see. Melkot's trying to kill off the Black Arc Corsairs that are rejoining the fight. And Green Malice is kind of living his best life, fighting his counterpart, but also sitting in the middle of these Cold and Dread Knights. He is healing up, but whenever he gets to cast, where are you? Reaper of Souls, that'll really hit this other quite expensive unit. Green's still in a bad spot, though. Other Malice not being transformed is a bad, bad time. Siren of Red Ruin, Whales, getting rid of more and more Dark Elf infantry, routing them off too as Black Arc Corsairs rally and start to come over to offer a little bit of support. Green is in mass exodus, and really only Tzarkan is holding them together, while the enemy has a healthier Tzarkan just waiting in the back pocket. I think that is about it for this matchup. Flock of Doom and Reaper of Souls will kill off the Cold and Dread Knights. Malice is approaching his heal cap, and at this point, with the Manticore summon, okay, the only way this goes to shit is if this Malice terror routes before turning into Tzarkan. Realizing that that's the only way you can lose, I definitely think Red Malice should just transform right now to prevent that from happening. But it looks like the Manticore's not even going to dive him. Because I thought the Manticore might be summoned to cause terror if it rear charged him while he was fighting Tzeentch, and that could have made sense. The Manticore is getting used instead to take out repeater crossbows. But yeah, Manticore's going to fade in 40 seconds. The Dark Elves are just going to run away from it at this point, routing off anything they can. And when the Manticore's gone, there's no terror that could even threaten to get rid of Malice. Alright, bud. You need to transform. This is the only way green wins the game, is if you terror up right now, transform. You need to transform! Oh, shit! Alright, he got the transformation off. And army losses hits. There we go. Lamb sauce, you're a troll. You're a troll. Alright, it was a good game overall. I liked that the Dark Elf Mirror actually had two different approaches to how to play the game. For Tree Tone, there was that one flank fight that just didn't really work out in their favor. And they had the range advantage with the 3 Dark Shards, so they maybe should have played a little more defensively around their range. Not that you have to, like, box, but just, like, be there to peel off Black Arc Corsair Handbows that walked up to the Dark Shards. I don't know. Because he also had 5 cavalry to the enemy's... I guess 5 if you count the skirmish cav, but 5 to 5 when 2 of the enemies are skirmish cav, you can win that melee fight. So they need to play back a little bit, and the Beastcaster summoning the Manticore way out of range of the fight it wanted to join was also a bit of a problem. On the other side for Olaf the Moose, pretty good stuff overall. His skirmish cav was definitely the only thing I can point at and be like, that could use some work. I noticed his skirmish cav had a hard time hitting any useful targets. Most of the time they're just off in the distance getting attacked by the Crows of Cain or something. So those needed some work. Other than that, his engagements were pretty good. His use of his spells was pretty good, so not a lot of complaints. Just, if you're going to take skirmish cav, they take a lot of micro and good positioning, which is one of the reasons I'm not a big skirmish cav player. I'm bad with them, but I acknowledge that I'm bad with them, so... yeah. I don't know. Could work on that. I have pings. Why? Why am I being pinged? Oh, it's with replays for the event I'm casting. That makes sense. Okay. Dark Elf Mirror is gone. Beastmen versus Tzeentch. Oh no. Oh no. Skirmish Cav OP. Skirmish Cav's good if you're really, really good at using it. It could use some buffs, even though I hate Kite, but Kite in general could use some buffs right now. Because right now, only the best of the best players can make Kite work, and that's not ideal. Even if I dislike Kite, but just being a realist here, every playstyle should be equally viable. If a playstyle can only be executed by the top of the top, then it probably needs a little bit of help. We have Galroch versus Dust Bunny. Now, Galroch on the Beastmen was my tournament prediction today to win it all, so we'll see how he does. We have a Beastmen rush with 2 archers, 3 centaurs with throwing axes, 2 minotaurs with great weapons, the Vorgablan, the Vorbergland Broodmother that I always call the Vargablar, and then Torx the Brass Bull and a British Shaman of Wild with Traderkin. On the other side for Dust Bunny Armada, we have Tzeentch. Now, Kairos Fate Weaver is banned in all of my events, so this is Tzeentch without that. We have the Sour Guts, some Zongors, Marauders, Chromatic Horrors, other blue horrors, Screamers of Tzeentch, including the Shrieking Skyrays. We do have a Mutal Vortex Beast with no healing whatsoever, and then Village the Curseling on the front line. The Mutal Vortex Beast is still strong without healing, but he is not remotely as OP as he can be if he has healing, because he takes a lot of damage. 70 armor, no missile resist, none of that stuff. Torox immediately gets straight to it, starts fighting Village, but he is fighting Village on top of the Severed Claw. He needs to back off. This is a terrible fight for him. The Severed Claw are nasty, nasty melee combatants, especially if you're large. Mutal Vortex Beast fights Vargablar, and he will win that. He's an anti-large duelist, and she is an infantry-clearing monster. But the Minotaur's great weapons and archers are offering a lot of support. That Mutal Vortex Beast is taking a ton of damage, already down to around half HP, and Torox has gotten away from that bad fight that was plaguing him earlier. For the Beastmen, a big problem is their Centaurs with throwing axes ended up in melee across the board with random Marauders, usually with spears. So the skirmish cav of the Beastmen got rocked. That is just, you know, not great for them, for sure. Not going to try and sugarcoat that. Good things for the Beastmen, though, is they seem to be doing okay on the front line, and they have torn apart the Mutal Vortex Beast. Down to 1/3 HP-ish. Still getting poked down by the Butchers of Kalkengard. Sorry, I'm just so used to every Minotaur being the Butchers. Archers and then these spears. But the Shrieking Skyrays and the Severed Claw have shut down one of the two archers, and the other one got pushed away by a pink fire long ago. Nice big Traderkin Overcast hits 4 different units, including the Mutal Vortex Beast. So that's a good cast. That is a good cast. Torox was trying to stop these Chromatic Abominations. The Mutal Vortex Beast does get routing. Vargablar is charging around, hopefully going to catch some nice big blobs of infantry that it can jump into. Those Screamers are keeping it honest, at least. Still 1 full health Minotaur with great weapons, hanging out with Torox the Brass Bull. If they can all avoid the Severed Claw, they're happy to take any other matchup on this battlefield. Even Screamers, they'll be fine versus Screamers. They just don't want to fight on top of the Severed Claw. As I say that, they charge Village, who is dangerously close to the Severed Claw. They'll want to get what damage they can and then get out of here. Though Village is that type of character where he's a really good foot duelist, and then he has pseudo-regeneration through his shields, and then he has, like, constant shield regeneration, even when he's in melee combat. So Village is usually just left alone till the last unit on the battlefield, and I think that is correct. Mutal Vortex Beast routing off, -15 leadership still, even though it's safe and clear, so I really don't think it'll be coming back in this game, and if it does, it'll be at such a low leadership point that it won't really matter. Chromatic Abominations and Screamers teaming up to try and take out these Minos, but the Minos are currently winning that, especially if they get the demonic instability on the Chromatic Abominations, and they can just turn around and focus all of their fury onto those Screamers. Vargablar down to half HP. Minos also very dead next to it. They all need to get away from these Spearmen for now. And the Beastmen have rallied 2 of their archers to start firing in, though they took another pink fire of Tzeentch, almost getting them out of the game, but it does not end up being that way. And Torox is starting to snipe out Village once again. Village's shields are faltering. We'll see if Torox can get any meaningful damage done, as the Minotaurs have run out of gas up here. Looks like their charge bonus wore off, and now they're actually getting rocked. That's terrible for the Beastmen. We'll see what the Vargablar can do. Still have some archers clinging to life, and a big Traderkin cast. Is it overcast? Yes, because it hurt the caster. And it missed 1 Marauder of Tzeentch, but otherwise it's a really good cast. Hit the Severed Claw, hit Village, hit these other guys. It's a good cast. It's a good cast. I'm hoping that the archers are focusing on blue horrors and pink horrors, because that's really their meat and potatoes. Marauders are okay, but Marauders are so trash they're not worth shooting, and the Severed Claw are really small targets to hit. Torox is back in it. He's trying to get these Chromatic Abominations to just hurry up and Demonic Instability crumble. Meanwhile, the Shrieking Skyrays do catch out a Centaur throwing X's that was walking off the Mutal Vortex Beast and do push it off the edge of the map. Beastmen are slightly down in the balance of power, and I would agree. I think Tzeentch is favored right now, but I do not think this game is over, as Village is down to half HP, and that can get a little risky. If Torox can kill Village, then all of your demonic units are much easier to kill off for foreversies, and that includes 2 Screamers and the Sour Guts right now. Centaurs and Minotaurs trying to charge in together to take out these Marauders while Torox fights next to some Screamers. This could be a bit of a value trade up for the Beastmen, though they're right now really trying to rally these archers and keep them in the game. They've been hit with a bunch of pink fires, and you can tell that because their model count is really high while their health is super low. Because pink fire doesn't kill a lot of models quickly, it just takes out HP from everybody. Minos get a fight with Village and the Blue Horrors, shattering those guys off. Vargablar's charge almost takes out the Chromatic Abominations, but the Sour Guts are tracking it across the board as they do. Brashium the Wild took some damage from the Severed Claw. Torox and his boys are starting to get out of this fight from the Screamers and the Spears. They want nothing to do with it. There go the Chromatic Abominations. Vargablar and the Minos getting away from Village. Don't want to take this fight next to Severed Claw. But the Minos opt back in. I guess their HP is just so low, they said fuck it, and they want to try and get some damage onto Village, while the Vargablar is going to go over here and deal with the Sour Guts. And if he can get his charge animation, he'll do impressive damage, especially as these guys are reforming into a box. Boop! There goes all their shields, and they even take a little bit of damage on top of that. Tier 2 Tzeentch army ability does hit the Bray Shaman, who just cast a Traderkin off screen. I saw the effect still on our Village the Curseling. The Bray Shaman is about to rout. Can Torox find Village? Village so low that his shields don't even regenerate to be much of a threat anymore when he's at this low of HP. The Vargablar is going to just try and cycle charge through as many infantry as possible. The Jabbersites are mostly taken for that amazing charge animation they have. When they get it onto infantry, they can do a lot of damage. Screamers are getting harassed by throwing axes. They're hovering over the Bray Shaman of Wild. They lost their attack orders for some reason. If the Bray Shaman of Wild gets out one more Traderkin onto Village, then the Beastmen do have a real good shot back into this game. As Minos and Torox are taking a fight right on top of the Severed Claw, it's not great, but sometimes it is what it is. Torox is trying to fight his way out of here. We're also trying to kill off the Shrieking Skyrays. And the Minos plus the Archers look like they'll get the Demonic Instability onto those Screamers, will save the Bray Shaman of Wilds, and keep the Beastmen in this game. Everything's routing from the central fight, besides Torox, who just walked away of his own accord. He's a strong, independent bull. He don't need no man. And here comes the Jabberscythe, taking big damage from the Sour Guts on its way in, but there's the charge. Takes out their shields, takes out a little bit of health. The Shrieking Skyrays are right behind it. And our friend the Vargablar does have a Mortis Engine effect if you're low on leadership, which currently these guys are not. They're Regiment of Renowned demonic units, so they'll be okay. And we are saving up for another Traderkin. That is huge. Does he have it? Even an undercasted one would do decently, though it has to be combined with something. Because a Traderkin alone, just an undercast Traderkin on Village while he has some shields up, while they're diminished due to his HP being lower, still we gotta have some sort of like counter charge from Torox or something to finish this guy off for real. Shrieking Skyrays took a little bit of Mortis damage from the Vorgablond thingy. Vargablar. They're managing to get away for now. Beastmen are reforming lines. Centaurs are throwing axes, kiting away from that Marauder with spears. I'm sorry, Trogdor. I'm sorry. Cyclo-charging Tzeentch doesn't sound very productive. Yeah, but the less health they have, the less their shields actually do anything. Because their shields are like a percentage. Sour Guts firing back at these Centaurs throwing axes. Looks like they're going to get rid of them. Torox is trying to charge in the Marauders with spears. I think he's breaking their charge defense so that the Vargablar can get a rear charge and finish him off. But now the Shrieking Skyrays have landed, and the Vargablar immediately turns back towards them. Going to get the charge on them instead. Takes out their shields immediately. Starts draining them down. And their leadership's getting a little bit lower. Can he finish them off? Here comes Village. If there's a Traderkin, now is the time. Village is away from the Severed Claw. And Torox is surrounding him, but something is getting cast right now. It's a Treason of Tzeentch. I love that spell. Negative 16 leadership AoE against the Beastmen is usually quite good, but it looks like everything here is healthy enough to hang in there for now, as the Vargablar gets a huge charge on the Village, and Village is going to start to rout. And the Traderkin is chucked backwards, overcast backwards, as Village is killed off. The overcast damage hurts the Bray Shaman of Wild just a little bit, and the Beastmen are trying to get away. They do have some units coming back into the fore, but Village is gone. There's no more casting for Tzeentch, but also, importantly, there is much less leadership. The Vargablar dives in, immediately terror-outs off two things, gets a big chunk of damage down on the Sour Guts, and starts draining them with its Mortis-type effect. Then it moves immediately onto the Marauders. It's just got to keep charging different targets. It's just got to keep moving along. As the Severed Claw leadership gets low, it's down to the 30s, which for them is terrible. All these Marauders are terror-outing off. The Spearmen are charging towards the Vargablar. The Sour Guts are shooting at it. It's taking so much damage. It's down to 800 HP. It's got to charge, but it's not. It's trying to get movement orders. It's got to charge something. It's going into the Sour Guts. It needs to finish them off because that constant pink fire is hurting them so much, and it charges through the Severed Claw, who are currently fucking up Torox. And it is back in. It's charging through all these guys, getting so much damage down. It's draining so many things, but it's also getting very low. 400 HP and falling. It's trying to charge something else. It's trying to stay in the fight. So is Torox. Is also getting so low. Fight the Severed Claw. 100 HP on the Vargablar. 7 leadership. It goes back in for another charge. This is why we love the fucking the things. The big guys, the whatever they're called, the Jabbersites, because their charge animations are real good at killing off infantry. Torox is now stuck in the Severed Claws. Throwing axes are chucked in to try and save him. The Traderkin caster has no spells left. There's no Vargablar to get rid of everything. Army losses hits, and Tzeentch will win. 2,100 value for the Vargablar. Torox did okay. Traeger Caster did amazing. Minotaurs did pretty darn good. Senators throwing axes were really disappointing here, unfortunately. There wasn't a lot of great targets for them, but yeah. They also got caught out a little bit on the sides. Archers did fine. Ogre Spearheads did fine. For Dust Bunny, Village was tanky, and he was a caster, so he was okay. The Mutant Vortex Beast got shut down. Without healing to bail it out, those archers got a lot of value on it, and especially so did the Minotaurs. Severed Claw did well. The Screamers were real MVPs. They were very annoying to deal with. And then the Blue and Pink Horror Regimental for now were also very, very annoying. Marauders, some of them paying for themselves for the first time ever. GG. GG. I have 3 pings. Why? Why? Alright, one of the pings is coming from Turin's server. What is it? Hey, stop! Discord, stop being dumb. Okay, cool. Cool. Are we just gonna ignore the Sour Guts paying for themselves twice over? I mentioned that both the Chromatic Abominations and the Sour Guts did very well. Alright, Khorne Skaven from Galroch, again, versus MTK's Joy Boy. And will this game feed into my narrative that Skaven are a D-tier faction and can get rolled over by everyone? Or will Galroch, my tournament favorite, go 0-2 to start off the Swiss stage? Because I think if he's going to have any chance of making finals, I think he has to win out from this point, probably. Unless, like, everybody trades back and forth, but usually how these things go is someone has a perfect run, and then there's a couple threes. So I think, realistically, he's going to have to win out from this point. For the Chaos Forces of Khorne, we have triple spawn of Khorne, 2 Minotaurs with great weapons, and then Marauders of Khorne, some with dual weapons, some without. Actually, there's 3 Minotaurs with great weapons, 2 Chaos Warhounds of Khorne, and Valkia the Bloody. On the other side, for the Skaven, Plague Monks, 4 of them. That's probably too many. Especially, the problem with Plague Monks is Skaven is that they're a great unit. They're an amazing unit. I love them. But I usually only take 2. Because if you overinvest in Plague Monks, that's a lot of infantry they have to clear to do well. And most people aren't going to bring very much infantry versus Skaven. They're going to bring as much mass as they can. Because Skaven are weak to mass, being monsters or cavalry. Single entity monsters, such as like the Jabberscythe or, you know, Mutant Vortex Beast, they hate big monsters and they hate healing, right? So Plague Monks are kind of like, a couple are nice to win the front line, which isn't expected out of Skaven, but 4 feels like too many. You're betting on a lot of infantry, which is risky. Now there are a decent amount of infantry here, but anyway, I'll digress. 3 Poison Globes, which is fine. 4 Rat Ogres for some of that nice mass. Ikit Claw with Flensing Ruin, Howling Warp Gale, and Warp Lightning. And then a Packmaster on his Brood Horror with his usual kit. I like it overall. I'd probably cut just like 2 Plague Monks and get some Slingers and some Dogs. Like 2 Dogs, 2 Slingers, something like that. But overall, I like it. I just think it's risky, because not all Khorne builds will even have this many Marauders. I've seen some with 0 infantry whatsoever. They just go Dogs and mass. Marauders are in. Poison Globes throwing. They do as much damage to their own Plague Monks as the Marauders of Khorne, unfortunately for them. They're still getting decent damage out. Here come the Minotaurs. Here come the spawn. And I think the front line for the Skaven is rather doomed. I wonder where Valkia throws her spear. A lot of people throw it on Poison Globes. It does not do very much damage versus Globes. See? So I don't like that. I usually, if you want to do well as Khorne or as Warriors of Chaos and you're taking Valkia, throw it on the front line, make the front line break a lot faster, and then use your mass and your melee units to kill the globes. Using it on the globes, you can just see it didn't do very much damage. Minos of Khorne, get rid of the Rat Ogres quite swiftly, especially with Valkia's help, and they now could turn their focus on the Packmaster. We do have some Plague Monks nearby and even some Clan Rat Spears that could offer a bit of support, but I still think Valkia's going to be more than happy to do it. The Skaven front line is entirely falling apart as some Rat Ogres try and stop the Minotaurs of Khorne and the Chaos Spawn. The Globes are still throwing and doing good damage, but not as good as they need to against those big units if they're going to stop the doom that is coming for them. Chaos Spawn get in here, more Minotaurs get in here. The Skaven are in mass exodus, and the Dogs of Khorne are on the back line to clean it up. Valkia and her Minos not having a great time versus those Plague Monks of the Packmaster. It looks like Valkia is going to back off, just leave her Minos to their fate. Does Icket really need a Doom Wheel, though? He needs one of his 2 mounts. Flensing Ruin is thrown out onto the spawn of Khorne, and then their Minos. It'll punish that blob a little bit, but Flensing Ruin is mostly only going to do good damage versus single entities. But I think at this point the Skaven are just getting what they can get because Valkia is all the way across the battlefield from Icket. And Icket gets surrounded by Minos and spawn, gets dragged to the ground, can hardly even move. He's got so much mass around him. Skaven will lose their leadership, and without their leadership, they are doomed. Because if Icket dies, this Packmaster's going to rout. And if the Packmaster routs, army loss is going to hit. So let's track it. Let's see if I'm right. If Icket dies, Packmaster routs. If Packmaster routs, army losses. Icket shattered, Icket died. Okay, Icket's dead. Packmaster. Packmaster. His little nuke going off in the distance. Packmaster's not going to rout because the Minos are attacking the Rat Ogres. They're not attacking him. Damn it. Come on, Minos. Attack the Packmaster. Make my prediction right. Whatever. Packmaster gets away from his issues, but there's no hope for the Skaven. There's so many spawn. There's so many Minos. What can Skaven do against such reckless Minos? At this point, it's all Ogre but the Cryon. I will ×2 speed as the Chaos Spawn and Marauders catch up the Packmaster. And then, as I said before... There. Alright. He army lost before he routed, but if he routed beforehand, what about army losses? What is this? New player tournament. J-Skill, I've won with Skaven already twice in the turn. J-Skill, you gotta send him to me, man! You gotta send him to me! You can't just say that with no proof. Strangely an even matchup. Oh, yeah, I mean, Khorne is doable for Skaven. It's doable. It's not impossible. Spawn did well. Minos did well. That is just a showcase on how you deal with Skaven right now, is you punch through the front line with mass because they don't have a lot of mass that can stop your mass. And they need their mass, the Rat Ogres, on the flanks to stop your dogs and your other mass. So that's why you just want to spam large objects versus Skaven. Cavalry, monstrous infantry, monstrous cavalry, big monsters, anything that is bigger than human-sized, you want to spam that shit versus Skaven and run it down their throats because they can't stop it. Like, Rat Ogres can physically stop it, but you can only have so many Rat Ogres, and after that, you can't do anything. Now, Khorne, the reason I just said, and GS is saying Khorne's favored, he might have different reasons for saying that, but Khorne is even into Skaven in general because Khorne has other issues. Khorne doesn't have any magic, which does hold them back quite a lot. Khorne's very expensive, and their armies can be quite narrow. So, Khorne has issues. Skaven can do okay. Again, like I pointed out at the start, but I think there's just too many Plague Monks. And while Plague Monks are a decent unit, they're not going to be a decent unit in this matchup because Khorne's not relying on their infantry to beat you. They don't give a shit about their infantry. They're just going to spam out as many big things as possible. Are Council Guard good in this matchup? Theoretically, yes. In practice, not as sure. It feels like the Council Guard will last until the very end. They might get some damage out, but mostly the enemy's just going to ignore them and kill everything they need to, and then the Council Guard will be the last thing on the map. So I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I think if you take the Council Guard, here's what I'll throw you. I think the Council Guard are good if you put them in the front line. I do not think the Council Guard should sit in the back line. And I know it's our instinct to put them in the back line, because you normally have your elite infantry in the secondary. In like just most Total War Warhammer, elite infantry are your second line, usually. But I don't think with Council Guard, especially in matchups with mass, that's a good idea. Because you could have an unbreakable part of your front line doing anti-large damage and holding forever. Or they could be in the back line, walking slowly after anything that comes near them that'll just walk away from them. So it's like, okay, well, at least get the use of them. At least put them in your front line. would be my take on it. Okay, I have 4 pings. Why? Away. Draconis, Lucinia just answered that, so yeah. Alright, what do we got here? Glorious Dust Bunny Armada versus Rogue Consultant. We have seen both of these players already, but not versus each other. Dust Bunny played Village earlier. Rogue Consultant played, he looks like a very similar High Elf build, but he previously took it versus Chaos Dwarves. Checking on the bracket for now. Round 3 is almost done. We're almost entering round 4. Okay, sorry, someone just sent me a bunch of things. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's weird. Okay. That high elf build doesn't look anything like the one he took versus you. It has the Talons of Torquelada. It has 2 War Lions of Krace. That was mostly what I was going with. Anyway, sorry. For the High Elves, we do have the Heralds of the Wind, Illyrian Reaver Archer off in the distance, the ROR. Then we have 2 War Lions of Krace, some Spearmen for a front line. Bunch of Spearmen for front line. A couple Other Seaguard, Ooh, 2 Sisters of Avalon, one of which is the Everqueen's Court Guard. The Talons of Torquelada, Teclis. And Teclis did bring Flock of Doom, his net, and Enfeebling Foe. On the other side for Norska of Dust Bunny, we do have 2 Skin Wolves, 2 Norskan Warhounds, one of which is Beasts of Tashnar. On the other side, we have 2 Norskan Ice Wolves. No, just 1. The Maws of Savagery, 2 Marauder Horsemen Throwing Axes who found some lions in the woods, and they want nothing to do with that. And a front line of Marauders with some Marauder Berserkers in there for a little bit of flavor. Wulfric the Wanderer, and a Burning Head caster with also Cascading Fire Cloak. I guess he has, but we'll probably see more Burning Head. Artemis Shanks, I don't think I've seen you for a while. Maybe I'm just being stupid, but I don't think I've seen you for a while, so welcome back. Maws of Savagery pile in on top of these War Lions of Krace, and with the Norskan Ice Wolves already beating them up, those guys are gone. That's a pretty nasty loss for the High Elves. Off on the start. Archer's going to start shooting at Marauders. Do have bronze shields, but only 15 armor. Love and Seaguard fight back against some Wolf? Why'd I say Wolfhounds? Dude, I'm having a day, okay? Just acknowledge that whatever I say is stupid and wrong, okay? That's the kind of day I'm having. Anyway, Love and Seaguard are now fighting Marauders. That probably won't go great for them, but it'll go okay. Talons of Torquelada trying to fire on these Marauders. Looks like everybody and their grandmother is shooting at Wulfric, and he needs to be netted. Teclis is coming over. Net. Oh, Seafang! Ouch, it's Seafang. Net. Sisters of Avalorn and the Talons of Torquelada both firing at the Firecaster. That will knock him out of this game. He's either going to shatter or die for sure. As a Burning Head goes through the Spearmen and then arcs into the Talons of Torquelada, still doing good damage to them. And there goes the Firecaster. Norska gets no more magic this game. And you remember at the very start when, seriously, Burning Head, you went from there to there, you homing missile through all of them, and you just kill off the Sisters of Avalorn. Fuck you, Burning Head, you piece of shit. I'm sick of your AI homing ass bullshit. You're a bullshit spell sometimes, Burning Head. You don't just get to decide how games are gonna go because you feel like being a homing missile at times, and other times you decide to be a friendly fire disaster. Fuck you, Burning Head. I'm not mad about it at all. Anyway, Techless lands in these guys. Hunter of Champions has popped on him, so he has very low melee stats. And I was going to say it before that we were only going to see Burning Head. We did only see Burning Head because he died before he got a Cascading Fire Cloak. But I guess that doesn't matter anymore because the Burning Head, the only Burning Head he got to cast, hit 3 fucking units because it could just make a fucking S shape across the ground. Oh, hey, I cast Burning Head for 10 wins of magic and it went woo, woo, woo. It killed everybody. Woo, it killed everybody. Stupid fucking Burning Head being stupid. Anyway, I'm moving on. Skinwolves are moving in, doing stuff. Dogs moving in, doing stuff. Burning Head's going to woo, 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 killing everyone. Just everybody. Hey, if there was a Burning Head cast right here, I'd go like, kill all these guys too. Because why wouldn't it? Norska's running down all the Heralds of the Wind, the Law of the Sea Guard, those guys are all rounding off. High Elves are very down the balance of power, and I definitely agree with that. As Techless is slowly healing himself up with the Potion of Groy. But there's just not enough going well for the High Elves here. Their front line is still holding, but their back line has fallen apart. Their archers are mostly exposed to these dogs and skinwolves to be able to run them down. And this is largely why you don't see Techless these days, because Techless, I think, even with this kit, Techless is probably around 2,900 gold. Like, Techless is a prohibitively expensive caster, especially up on his Phoenix. Yeah. Anyway, I'm thinking this is GG. I don't think some spearmen can carry this game for the High Elves, and Techless is doing his best. Wolfric is still out here at full HP, and while the High Elves had an amazing snipe on the enemy caster, just too much went too wrong for them everywhere else. Another boat goes through the spearmen. It's probably going to shatter them, especially with a rear charge coming in from dogs. And now the map is down to just Techless and 2 spearmen. That is not enough, and the game calls it, triggering army losses. Faithful by name? I understood that. I see what you're putting down. Burning Head caster. Got 900 value off of 1 cast. Let's go. Wolfric did okay. Skinwolves did fine. Berserkers did fine. Marauder Horsemen throwing axes did fine. Dogs did fine. Generally just Norska, their whole roster did very well in that game. For Rogue Consultant, Techless had 1 good net, and then he did nothing. Archers did okay, but the Warlions of Krace got wrecked. They got rolled. I forgot to put up a blocker, so I just selected a replay as fast as I could. My voice is failing. We have Samaric Pale Ale on the Tomb Kings versus Olaf the Moose Cathay. Why are you guys playing on Alpine Ridge, Samaric? Hey, Samaric, quick question. You know the maps I listed? I don't remember Alpine Ridge being in there. You know the maps I told you guys to play on? Yeah, this isn't one of them, Samaric. So what the fuck? Why are you here? Okay, no, it's fine. Now, Samaric, seeing as how you're the green player in this replay you sent me, I don't know who hosted the lobby, but I'm guessing it might have been you. I'm guessing that you hosted the lobby and you were fighting Cathay, and I'm guessing you put a giant fucking hill between you and Cathay, and they took 2 cannons and some crane gunners, and you said, oopsie poopsie. Oopsie poopsie, did I put a giant fucking hill between me and you? Well, thankfully my catapults have an arc of fire that can go up over the hill, up and over the hill, and still hit you. But your cannons can't hit me. Did I do that? That's an accident. This man is a cheater. This man is a cheater. Now, is Alpine Ridge also like the first map on the map list? So if you just don't change the map, is it the one that's auto-selected? Maybe, but that doesn't fit my narrative, so I'm not going to say that. All right, Tomb Kings versus Grand Cathay. I'm getting a message. It's from Galrach. Okay, I'll save that. Anyway, Tomb Kings versus Grand Cathay. We have 2 Screaming Skull Catapults, DJ Kotep on his DJ booth, the Chosen of the Gods, Ushapti Great Bows, 2 Skeleton Chariots, the Kepler Guard, a bunch of Nehekar Warriors, and some Skeleton Spearmen, and 1 Carrion that is currently getting bodied by Onyx Crowman. Your Honor, my client pleads whoopsie poopsie. Alright, for Grand Cathay, we do have 2 Crowmen, the Emperor's Crowman and a different Crowman. We have some Peasant Horsemen running around for a little bit of Cav presence. We do have 2 Cannons, a Crane Gunner, 2 Iron Hail Gunners, Jade Warriors, and Peasant Long Spears. All of these are Halberd variants, except for, I guess, there's 3 Jade Warriors regular. We have Zhao Ming the Iron Dragon with Plague of Rust and his Dragon Breath. The Carrion is gone, and the Cannons of Grand Cathay say, "What hill? What hill?" as they fire up and over, still hitting the Chosen of the Gods. But they are a little outmatched. I mean, 2 Screaming Skull Catapults plus Kotep plus the Chosen of the Gods is a lot of firepower for 1 cannon firing over the hill to counteract. 1 Screaming Skull Catapult is shot down by the suicide dive of an Onyx Crowman, though. The Onyx Crowmen are amazing at doing this. They are incredible at doing this. It's the reason that I think the Fruit Rules actually has them limited at 2. I don't think that's me, but I could forget. But most people can only bring 2 of them, and it is why Grand Cathay is S tier, is having cheap and fast aerial dog units that also can shock cav people down into oblivion is pretty damn brutal. As the other Screaming Skull Catapult is about to die, it looks like these Crowmen are going to help out the Emperor's Crowman in finishing off the Skeleton Spearmen and the Screaming Skull Catapults. I believe the Emperor's Crowman, to be fair, did use, yes, they used their grenades, which is how the Skeleton Spearmen are so fucked up, but still, it's a lot of damage. Grand Cannon still getting hit with Screaming Skull Catapults, loses one of its cannons in front of our eyes. And Cathay is generally okay right now with what's happening. Kotep using a lot of his ammo, trying to take out that cannon, while the Onyx Crowman killed 2 Screaming Skull Catapults, a Carrion, and a Skeleton Spearman. Cathay's chilling. They're chilling with that result. Now the Onyx Crowmen are actually going to dive the Chosen of the Gods. I legitimately have no idea how this goes, but my heart tells me somehow the Crowmen pull it out because they're fucking Crowmen. Cannon still firing up and over, smoking Kotep. And I kind of want the Grand Cathay player to move his other cannon over to this exact angle, because that seems to be working out for Cathay. Crowmen are chilling. Chosen the Gods trying to move up and do something useful with their time, and this Screaming Skull Catapult has rallied, so the Crowmen might have to rear charge it to finish it off. Onyx Crowman still hovering ominously over the Chosen the Gods, just daring them to do anything untoward. And Cathay is finally moving up. Grand Cannon still taking damage. There's other Grand Cannons firing up and over through their own Crowman, managing to miss their Crowman, but also missing the Chosen of the Gods, so I guess we'll just call that one a wash. And Grand Cathay still moving up. I'm going to fast forward a little bit as this move up is taking forever. Chosen of the Gods get shot a bit by Giselles and cannons, take a lot of damage. Onyx Crowman dive back in, kill the Screaming Skull Catapult for real this time. And that is that. Nero's Incantation of Protection. A little late for the Nehekar Warriors, but it does just heal up the whole Tomb King's army with the Nehek army passive. Cathay is taking the high ground, starting to charge downhill. Iron Hail Gunners should have a really good angle of fire being above the fight when it happens. They do a lot of damage to infantry if they can shoot them, but their angle of fire isn't usually the best. Being on top of the hill could fix that, and they could honestly put Kotep under some serious threat. Like, if this Iron Hail turns and shoots a Kotep right now, that's like a third of his HP gone in one volley. But they are trying to shoot the Nehekar Warriors. Most of the Jade Warriors are out of their way, so they do have a good little firing line here that can do some decent damage. Cannon still firing up and over, firing at the Chosen of the Gods. 4 out of 4 models still on those guys, and Crane Gunners are moving up too to offer a little bit of support. Ooh, this is going to be bad. Ow, it's a lot of damage on those Iron Hail Gunners. Zhao Ming is getting involved, trying to clear out some skeletons, and he is going to transform into his big Dragon Man form. That is better at clearing out chaff. It makes him a little more vulnerable, but he's really not worried about anything the Tomb Kings have in melee. Or, honestly, anything they have at all anymore. Yeah, they don't have a ton of stuff that can deal with them. They don't have Single Shot, Ushapti, they don't have Sepulchral Stalkers, they don't have anything. So Zhao Ming's going to probably try and carry this game. Halberds going nuts. Both Skeleton Chariots are getting massacred right now. Same with the Skeleton Warriors, to be honest. And the cannons of Grand Cathay continue to fire up and over the ridge onto the Chosen of the Gods. Bounce power is heavily in Cathay's favor. And I agree. For now. Rogue Consultant sent me some stuff. I'm going to save those. You all can spectate that game at your own leisure. I ain't going to stop you. Cannon's still firing at the Chosen of the Gods, though it is missing quite a lot, firing up and over this ridge. The Crane Gunners are trying to counterfire now. They're really wanting to take out these Ushabti Great Bows, which is fine, but someone just, like, kill Cathay. He's right there. These Iron Hail Gunners can do it. Looks like they're mostly focused on clearing out the infantry, rather than sniping the enemy lord. And that could maybe be a problem. The Tomb Kings have an absurd amount of infantry in this build. And it's not like Zhao Ming can kill all of them. He's going to try. He's going to try real hard with his Dragon's Breath and his Dragon form, but he'll eventually get worn down. That's why you got to kill Cathay, you guys. Please. Please kill Cathay. Ushabti Summon is out. It takes out a full health cannon. That's a really big boon for the Tomb Kings, though that is their army ability getting cast off. And the Onyx Crowman, Regiment of Renown, dives onto the Chosen of the Gods, trying to get them to at least start crumbling or something as Cathay continues to fire, and everybody just fucking ignores this guy. Zhao Ming's not going to dive on him. Nothing. Nothing! This cannon crew is pushed back. I keep seeing some explosions in the distance, so they are losing cannon models. I don't know if they've lost all 4, but they've lost a significant amount of them. Peasant Horsemen have rallied in the backfield, though this is an undead roster we're talking about, so it's not like their rear charges can rout them or anything. Rear charges is still good, but it's not just going to cause them to rout. Chosen the Gods, 0 leadership, but they are crumbling for now, and Crane Gunners get a little bit more poke onto them. But after you get shot by Crane Gunners, you rally? I don't understand you, leadership. I don't understand you. Crane Gunners and Iron Hails trying to rejoin the battlefield. Chosen the Gods, 600 HP, and Cathay still firing away as someone, anyone, please kill Cathay. Especially Zhao Ming. Zhao Ming should not be over here doing this. He should be just taxing Cathay. But he's just ineffectually trying to clear out infantry, which, like, bro, there is so much infantry here. Trust me, there will be more when you're done. There will not be more Kateps when you're done. And also, if Cathay dies, that's less healing for the whole roster. And also, if Cathay dies, they'll crumble faster. Please kill Cathay. As Zhao Ming is chilling. Gets off a nice 3-for-1 breath attack on those guys. It looks like he's going to go finish off the Chosen of the Gods. I like this. I like this. He does such good damage on the charge. Takes 400 of their remaining 600 HP away. He will kill off the Chosen of the Gods. Now Cathay. Now Cathay. Now Cathay. Come on. The rest of his army is falling apart, though. They've let Cathay fire for far too long. He has killed 342 Cathayan infantry, which is brutal. That is very brutal. The Chosen of the Gods are gone. Kathep's used all but one of his ammunition, so he's already gotten all of his damage out. You still want to take him out just to lower the leadership and the spell casting of the enemy army, but he's been allowed to fire for way, way, way too long. Zhao Ming's back to charging through Nehekar warriors. Cathay is just going to vibe. At this point, I'm going to ×2 replay this, because we are just going to watch a very long infantry grind, so I think I can cast that at ×2 speed, no problem. Cannons are chasing down Skeleton Spearmen. The Skeleton Spearmen will turn around and kill the cannons off quite effectively. Zhao Ming and some Jade Warriors are grouping up to kill off these skeletons as Cathay retreats back to his Kepler Guard. Grand Cathay is just about out of gas. They have very little range pressure left at all. We have some Crane Gunners with 8 models, Iron Hail Gunners with 17, but those Iron Hail Gunners have routed twice, so if anything gets them to rout again, they will just die. Grand Cathay is resetting up. Meanwhile, the Tomb Kings are chilling. And Crane Gunners plus Iron Hails are going to go shoot at the Skeleton Spearmen as Zhao Ming charges over there to deal with them. ×3 speed! Pew pew! Pew pew pew! Pew pew pew! Picking off Skeleton Spears. Kathep's moving up. Bump bump. Picking off Skeleton Spears. There they go. They're all dead. Kathep's moving up. Up, 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 up. There we go. Zhao Ming dives in onto Cathay. He's going to walk away from the Kepler Guard. Gonna walk away. Cathay has some more units rallying as the Tomb Kings just charge to shatter the Iron Hail Gunners. We'll also probably shatter off these Crane Gunners as the Nehekar Warriors just give attack orders onto them to walk straight past the peasants. They're like, listen, peasants, we'll come back for you. You'll still be there when we're done. There goes all of the range. Grand Cathay officially now just has melee stuff and, of course, a caster. Also, a lot of their peasants have routed, and with the ranged units retreating, this Harmony buff is going to go away very soon. Once they get far enough away, the Harmony's gone, and then Grand Cathay infantry is, like, still good, but not nearly as god tier as it normally is. Nice breath attack onto the Kepler Guard. It was even overcast, but they're especially weak to it because they do have weakness to fire, and it does do fire damage, so it does double damage to the Kepler Guard. Nehekar warriors, one of them is crumbling and almost dead. Keperguard are half HP and trying to regenerate. Other Nehekar warriors half HP and trying to regenerate. This skeleton spearman is just about dead. For Cathay, we have a half health of Zhao Ming, and everything else is so low, I don't think it can really hang. Zhao Ming has used a lot of breath attacks this game. I don't know how much Winds of Magic he has left. He dives onto Cathay, gets another breath attack down. He fights for a bit. He's getting such good damage onto Cathay. He's trying to chase him around. Cathay is swirling through his DJ booth, trying to get away from Zhao Ming, who is getting poked down by the Keperguard and all this stuff he's continuing to walk through. Jab's Incantation Curse Blades is up, resetting the cooldowns on Zhao Ming by 15 seconds if he had another breath attack he wanted to use, but also healing up all these guys. And Zhao Ming continues to do good work. Tomb Kings are officially down to this little last pocket of defiance, but same with Cathay as they close in from all sides. It looks like stuff is going to start routing, maybe even shattering, especially these Crowmen probably going to shatter if they rout at all. And Cathay is still chilling. Zhao Ming does have his healing item if he takes enough damage, but if he takes a lot of damage and the balance power gets so low that it army losses him, that heal will not proc before the army losses. Crowmen do shatter. Cathay is starting a mass rout as both Jade Warriors with Halberds get going. The Peasant Longspears are also going to get going. And there's a big breath attack down the line, though the Keperguard were a little scattered, so it didn't do as much damage as you might think. Zhao Ming and this Peasant Longspear, the last thing's chilling, and Cathay is still alive, which is providing that little bit more support that Zhao Ming hates. Nehekar Warrior is going to finish off the Peasant Longspears. Keperguard have attack orders onto Zhao Ming. They're trying to get to him as he continues to miss Cathay. There we go. He got a good tail thwap onto him. Negative leadership, he is starting to crumble. Balance of power turns very far against the Tomb Kings, but these Peasant Longspears have shattered. Cathay is dead and gone. Does army losses hit, or does the game play out as Zhao Ming continues to fight? Some Jade Warriors are coming back. And army losses is the Tomb King's worst enemy, because actually just chilling, the Keperguard can do decent damage to Zhao Ming. And there's not that much support left for him. But if army losses just decides it's over, then it's over. And I think the really hard part for the Tomb Kings is Zhao Ming is going to get his heal at this point, because there's no way Cathay army losses without him getting his heal, judging by how terrible the balance of power is for the Tomb King right now. Because that is one way you can kind of cheese Zhao to keep his heal off, is just to army loss him before it happens, but that's not going to be the case. Keperguard and Nehekar Warriors continuing to fight. They're going to rout these Jade Warriors that might honestly shatter after how everything they've been through. There they go, they shatter. Some Jade Warrior Halberds might also shatter. Other Jade Warrior Halberds trying to come back. Zhao Ming continues to take damage as Keperguard are grinding. The Scalies are flying all over the goddamn place. And now the Jade Warriors are going to rout and shatter. That'll leave Zhao Ming all alone. So Zhao Ming is officially alone. Technically, this Jade Warrior could come back, but their leadership is negative right now. So Zhao Ming versus the world. Now, the Nehekar Warriors are crumbling, and their leadership is so far gone that they'll keep crumbling. The Keperguard are chilling. Can Zhao Ming proc his heal? And honestly, if he procs his heal, army losses might hit in his favor. Because, like, you and I know that if he's forced to actually fight the Keperguard, he might lose it, but army losses is a fickle mistress, and look at that balance of power right now. Keperguard fighting Zhao Ming, he's going to get some hits off. I'm really just waiting for that heal to proc and see what happens. If the heal procs and he doesn't army loss them, Tomb Kings can probably still win it. Then again, the dragons are weird, because their models are very strange. Fast forwarding through a little bit of the bump and grind as Zhao takes forever to kill the Keperguard. There's his heal, and there is army losses. Called it. I called it. So Cathay will win. In a good game. A good game. A weird game. A good game. GG. GG, GG. I'm going to refresh the bracket on my other screen and check in on things. We are in round 4. There are 3 games left in round 4 to be played. So we'll see how that goes in a second. For Samaric, his chariots got rolled. Ha! Chariots getting rolled, but it is true. Cathay did well. Screamskull Catapults, mixed. Nehekar Warriors did fine. Carrion got wrecked, and Skeleton Spearman did fine. For Olaf, Zhao Ming hard carried. Crowman also helped, I suppose. Cannons, overall still good value considering they're firing up and over a hill the whole fucking game. Jade Warriors did okay. Iron Hail Gunners actually almost paid for themselves, which is shocking considering how massacred they got by Cathay. But GG. GG overall. Okay. Okay. So there's that. I need to delete some replays and then not show you faction war stuff. So we're getting close to the end. Welcome to the math portion of today's stream. Refresh page. So how are we doing? Do we have any 4-0s? J skill. What? How do we have 4 4-0s? There is no way that's true. Hold on. J. Okay. Then we have Losaurus, Olaf, and Dust Bunny. I have never seen this before. What the fuck? What the fuck? There's 4 4-0s? No way. I mean, that makes my job super easy, but what the fuck, man? Okay. Okay. Fine then. Just do 4 4-0s. That's cool. That's fine. No, that's great. Why don't you just do that then? Why don't you just do that? Cheaters. Cheaters, pumpkin eaters. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. So wait, I need to save that. Oh, I need to pee! I need to pee! I don't wanna. Hello! So, y'all cheated. We have 4 4-0 players because y'all cheated. So, I quit. Good day. Hold on, I'm gonna see what Guillermo wanted. Okay. Who was our 4-0s again? We had J Skill, Losaurus, Olaf the Moose, and Dust Bunny Armada. We will have a quick semi-final and final. BO1, continue down the maps as usual. And since everyone 4-0'd, no one's advantage, I'm just going to go down this list. So we'll have J, Skill, Losaurus, and then Olaf, Dust Bunny. Alright, so we have J Skill, Losaurus, Olaf the Moose, and Dust Bunny Armada in that order, just because they all got 4-0. I don't know, I listed in the order, Total Tavern put them in because reasons. Sounds good. So we will cast those games. Whenever I get those games, I'll take a break from casting the Swiss replays and focus on the semifinals and finals. But until those games are done, we will keep casting Swiss replays. Because that's what we do. So the bracket's all done. I can finalize this tournament and close it, so I don't have to keep it open anymore. Alright, cool. Cool. I have to go to the bathroom real bad, so I'm going to start a loading screen, and then you guys can just enjoy the loading screen. I'll be right back. Oh! Ah! We're back! We're back! I missed anything? Oh no. I missed everything. So if I remember correctly, we have Losaurus on the Chaos Dwarfs versus Renner on the Vampire Coast. I just realized I've been doing this whole thing without my mouse pad, which is why my mouse has been a bit funny. I've been wondering about that, but I didn't say it out loud. My mouse pad is over on my working thing. Feels bad going without a 5th place. When do we need to finish our faction face-off game, CJ? I'm hoping for at least 1 game a week. Posted a replay of the 4th game with Skaven if you want to watch. Okay. Okay. So we have Chaos Dwarfs with some Hobgoblin Cutthroats, 2 Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, a bunch of Bull Centaur Renders. Looks like 2 of them this time. Yeah, just 2. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, Hobgoblin Archers, and then a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire up on his Bull Mount. I like that quite a lot. On this side for the Vampire Coast, first time seeing them today. We have some handguns and pistol mobs scattered throughout the enemy, but a lot of Daka. Some dogs, a couple crabs, animated hulks, Count Noctilus on foot with Pit of Shades and his heel, Invocation of the Heck, and then some mortars. Cool. Overall, good coast build. I like it, except for the mortars. I think mortars suck, but I know. Pistols and handguns are firing into the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and they are shrugging that shit off like bosses. They don't care at all that they're getting shot. Meanwhile, Bull Centaur Renders and Hobgoblin Cutthroats charging the animated hulks and Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs with polearms, and they're both doing very, very well at that. Some Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with bows are going to run away from Scurvy Dogs. I think they should turn around and go into melee because of their size difference. They will get a lot of damage on the Scurvy Dogs on the charge, but it doesn't look like they're going to do that. Overcasted Burning Head through one of the handgun mobs. It misses the other one. It was not cast in that angle. It looks like it is going for the side. Oh, there's a Death Guard with polearms. Hello, you. I missed you. Hello over there. Good old buddy. And a Pit of Shades from Count Noctilus is going to counter. It'll kill off some Hobgoblin Cutthroats. I don't know how much damage it'll do to the Ashes Dark Ravagers because their model count is so low, but it will kill off the Hobgoblin Cutthroats and then leave the Ravagers alone against Halberds at least, though it looks like Losaurus already has orders to get them out of there. Scurvy Dogs do chase off one of the Hobgoblin Archers, and then the Wolf Riders and the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire are going to counter-fire against them. Meanwhile, 2 Hobgoblin Archers are firing in, doing great work. Noctilus is using some summons to try and plug the gaps while his handguns continue to punish Hash's Dark Ravagers. Things are going a little south here for the Force of the Vampire Coast. They're falling apart in several aspects of their front line, and they're already relying on summons to keep things going for them. We'll see if the Chaos Dwarfs can continue with this progress. They have taken decent damage on their way up, but if these Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Hobgoblin Archers can move up and finish off the mortars and kill these handguns, that's going to be a big spike in the balance of power for them. Burning Head goes through a summon and a Depth Guard, doing not a lot of damage to either of them, and then tickles a handgun mob, but this is not the Curly Q Burning Head we saw recently. These Hobgoblin Archers are left to their fate against the Scurvy Dogs. The Scurvy Dogs are crumbling, though, so they might just crumble themselves to death before killing off the Hobgoblin Archers. These Wolf Raider Archers need to start going into melee with either some of these ranged units or with the dogs. Either way. Because trading ranged with standing ranged units like handguns or archers will never win for Skirmish Cav. And running away from dogs is usually not great, but you can just run at them. So I'm gonna hope that these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders, either in future games or in this game later on, go into melee. More poke on Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, but he does have his little heal Chalice, so if Noctilus casts Invocation to Heck or anything, then the Sorcerer of Fire will heal up. These are both handgun mobs. They're not summons. They won't go away soon, but Chaos Dwarves are still pushing up, and their Chaos Dwarf units, like the actual Chaos Dwarf units, are fine. There's 4 of them that are still very effective in the fight, and one of them is literally full HP. He hasn't taken any damage. Oh, he took 10 as we looked at him. For the Chaos Dwarves, their Bull Centaur Renders have seen better days. Hash's Dark Ravagers have a decent amount of HP, but they have taken a lot. I'm not going to pretend they're full health or anything. They still have 2 Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with still a lot of ammunition left. And they did go into melee with pistol mobs, so that is good. They're killing off those guys. And they're taking some friendly fire from their own guy. That is less good. Noctilus throws out a predictive Pit of Shades. Ah, but the heal is on cooldown for the Firecaster. I was going to wonder where he was at with that. Still, the Pit of Shades plus the Chaos Dwarf charge is taking a lot of damage off these handguns, and then the Hash's Dark Ravager charge is taking a ton of damage off these other handguns. So the handguns are both getting shut down one way or the other, and a Burning Head is going to finish the job on those guys. There's no way they live through that. Archer's still firing in the Lamper's Revenge, who are weak to fire damage. We have a Depth Guard with Polearms, but that's really it. It's Lamper's Revenge, Depth Guard with Polearm, and Noctilus. Because these handguns are both doomed. That's a summon, and that's it. You have the whole game. Last of the Dogs is finally shut down, allowing these archers to return if they feel like it. But we do have 2 archers who are back in the fight. It looks like the Lamper's Revenge are trying to path their way past the Chaos Dwarf Warriors and get back to the archers, do a little bit of damage back there. The Crossfire is really hurting them, though. We'll see if Hash's Dark Ravagers and the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire can have anything to say about these guys, as Noctilus chucks out another Wraithstorm to continue to poke down our Sorcerer Prophet friend. Time is against the Vampire Coast and on the side of the Chaos Dwarves as they wait for this summon to fade away, as they wait for Crumbling to take hold. Noctilus, what summons do you have left, my friend? None on his Moon Dial, and he didn't bring the summon spell, so that's his last summon and it is fading away. So the Coast are not happy about this. They wish that the Chaos Dwarves just had to commit to melee against them, but instead they're getting pulled around and poked out. Invocation to Heck to heal up the Lamper's Revenge, but they're on fire, so they receive half that healing, and the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire gets all the healing from his little chalice. J-Skill, where did you post that replay? Did you DM me, or did you send it in Replays for Human? Which is fine if you did, but I just won't see that till I make videos. Lamper's Revenge, rallying on leadership, so they might stop crumbling soon, but these Depth Guard with Polearms already at half HP, and Noctilus is just chilling, but the Chaos Dwarves have the right of it here. No reason to block their own line of sight and get, like, Bull Centaur Renders involved. They just want to poke down these Lamper's Revenge, get rid of any mass that the enemy has, so now that your Sorcerer Prophet of Fire and the Hash's Dark Ravagers could start cycle charging, and without any mass to stop them, they won't get caught, and these guys are taking a ton of damage. Another Burning Head is out from the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire, just wants to get a little bit more poke going on. And Noctilus chucks out a Pit of Shades onto some Hobgoblins with particularly large amount of ammo, which is a good target, but I do think it is too little. I think it's too late. I don't think Noctilus can solo carry this, and he's going to have to if he's going to win, because the Depth Guard are already taking a little bit of crumbling damage here and there. Invocation Heck, try and keep them healed up. Hash's Dark Ravagers continuing to kite. I will fast forward ×2 for just a brief moment. As the Sorcerer Prophet also is shooting his little fire grenades down here. So these Depth Guard are just taking it on all sides. Hobgoblin Wolf Riders charge in to stall these guys out a little bit, while Archers and the Hash's Dark Ravagers continue to fire. Depth Guard down to 700 HP and falling. They are gone. We are now down to just Noctilus versus all this. And that is GG. Replays for casting? Okay, I'll go find it. Though you're also in the semifinals. J-Skill. Tomb Kings versus Skaven? Yeah. That's a fine matchup for Skaven. Alright. I am deleting yours and Olaf the Moose's posts in Replay for Casting. You did nothing wrong, but since I just saved them for this event, I don't want to go back over them later for when I'm just making content. If that matters to you. Hash's Dark Ravagers did well. The other Bull Centaur Render actually did not do very well. He got shut down. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, overall good. Not as much value as I would have thought, but their constant pressure and pushing up was just nice. The Archers did well. GG. For Renner, Noctilus did fine. Lamper's Revenge did okay. Depth Guard Polearms did okay, but they mostly just got walked away from. Handguns did very well. Dogs, not so much. Animated Hulks, not so much. And then the zombies were mostly shut down. GG. GG, GG. Put that back up there. We just cast Losaurus and we just cast Chaos Dwarf, so I might cast this next replay soon, but not immediately. And let's check if I have anything that was sent in twice. That's not twice, but that is a funny build. I like that build. Okay, that's sent in twice. I'm going to delete that. I just want to make sure that everything I have is only sent to me once. Okay, cool. We haven't seen any Bretonnia today, and we have J Skills Skaven, so let's do this one, huh? Let's do this one. Bretonnia versus Skaven, and not Lewin or Alberic. Very strange. This is a strange build from Guillaume. Gold Chevron Trebuchets. Grail Knights, Hippogriff Knights, those are good. Those are fine. The Trebuchets are sus. I don't like those. And I don't like the Prophetess. I like her from a caster perspective. I think she's interesting. I think it's neat, but if you, like, pure, you know, if you want my analysis on what's good and what's bad, I don't think that the Prophetess is very good. Regrowth, Earthblood on her, Assault of Stone. It's Chad. It's Chad, not good, though. A bunch of Knights Errant, those are fine. Those are fine versus Skaven. 2 Peasant Bowmen is fine, and this front line is fine. So, overall, a pretty good Brett build. I don't believe in the Trebs or the Lord. On the other side for the Skaven of J Skill, we have Clan Rats and Clan Rat Spears, 2 Eshin Triads, the Natty Booba Sharpshooters, Avalanche Mortars, 1 Globe, the Council Guard, Gracier of Plague with his Summon and Pestilent Breath, and then some Rat Ogres, 4 of those guys. Cool, cool. We'll see how this goes, as Knights Errant are going to plow into some Clan Rats. They don't have charge orders on those ones, but they happen to just, like, massacre them anyway. And then these guys coming in on the very tip of a narrow formation didn't get as much contact as they wanted. The Avalanche Mortars kill off a Spearman at Arms already, and Natty Boobos are trying to punish some Royal Hippogriff Knights, but the 3 Trebs are killing off the Avalanche Mortars. I'll give them that credit. Meanwhile, these Knights Errant pile up onto the Clan Rats' Spears, and a Poisoned Globe Volley will do a lot of damage to them. Globes do insane damage to cavalry for some reason, though. They stopped their own shots. Don't know why they did that. There they go. Second volley did more damage. Down to half models in the Avalanche Mortars. They are getting shut down. And Knights Errant rolling through here, trying to stop these things. And the Royal Hippogriff Knights land on the Avalanche Mortars. They are going to take them out, but they're getting shot by Natty Boobos this whole time. I wonder what they're going to do. Rat Ogres pile in on these guys. Natty Boobos are continuing to poke them down. Meanwhile, the Bretonnian Cavs still trying to get a mass rout on this side, but they're getting hit with globes. They're blobbing up a bit much. That was a really good globe volley. It hit like 4 different units, one of which was their own, but it was already routing, so they didn't care about it. Big Assault of Stone from Bretonnia is going to hit these Eshin Triads and Clan Rats. Oof. It is nasty to lose an Eshin Triad that way. That was a pretty solid Assault of Stone. And the Skaven front line is trying to get through the Bretonnian side. Where's their Grail Knights? Okay, Grail Knights are fighting some Clan Rat Spears. Hippogriff Knights are down to like 1/3? Yeah, 1/3 HP, and still getting constantly poked down by these Natty Boobos, who are left entirely on their own. Someone has to go back there and kill them, please! Hippogriff Knights, just dive on them. No one can stop you. The Gracier doesn't have his aerial net or anything, so he can't fucking net you in place or anything. Just go kill the Natty Boobos. Oh god, they're taking so much damage. Natty Boobos continuing to fire at the Royal Hippogriff Knights. Grail Knights are trying to peel for their triple Trebs and their 2 archers. I can appreciate that, but the Skaven range is more important than your range. This is good. We do have a regrowth coming in. It is undercast, but it's still a regrowth. As these guys continue to try and fight globes, Rat Ogres are also going to pile in, but they're continuing to get shot by the Natty Booba Sharpshooters, who've already paid for themselves and are just racking up value on these Hippogriff Knights. Here comes a Scorch. Never mind, it was canceled. He's going to summon instead. Treb's still lobbing away into the Eshin Triads as the Triads and Rat Ogres try and kill off the Grail Relic. We still have a full health Grail Knight running around. Hippogriff Knights are peeled off, so they should come back. They have plenty of leadership. For the Skaven, we have the Council Guard. We have 1 healthy-ish globe, a healthy Natty Booba Sharpshooters with still 1/3 of its ammunition, or a little more than that. We do have some healthy Rat Ogres, and of course the Gracier is just vibing. What up, Alex Hodgson? How you doing? Gisele's firing in on the Grail Knights now. Earthblood tries to heal them and the Royal Hippogriff Knights up. The Royal Hippogriff Knights were not in range of the Earthbloods. They didn't actually get the healing from it. And globes are throwing into the Grail Knights as Hippogriff Knights and Grail Knights just sandwich in the Rat Ogres. I'm sure they killed the Rat Ogres, but taking so much damage. You gotta kill the weapons teams! As the Hippogriff Knights are routed for a second time. If they rout any more, they will shatter, which is a disaster for the forces of Bretonnia. You still have a half-health Grail Knight, but all of those Trebs are shut down. Skaven are very far ahead on the balance of power. And that is looking like GG. I don't think even with a regrowth coming in, like, Grail Knights are nuts, but they can't kill a whole Skaven army by themselves. And hi, kitty cat. I am now being held hostage by a cat. Hello. Hello, buddy. As Globes are going to throw out the Grail Knights and get any damage they can out, Jezzails are also going to hit them, and everybody's just trying to kill these Grail Knights because that's the last thing Bretonnia has of any value on the battlefield. But with Rat Ogres, with Triads, with a Globe, with a Council Guard, and with Jezzails, I think they'll be just fine. As Hippogriff Knights are back, but they don't land on the Jezzails. They land on the Ashen Triads and start to try and get away, but they're going to shatter, and there they go. Rip in peace. Bounce power still isn't as bad for Bretonnia as I think it honestly should be. I guess it's because the Prophetess of Life is still full HP, but what the fuck's she gonna do? Nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing! Skaven look like they're falling back to reform around the Jezzails. Still have 3 volleys left. I think all of those volleys need to just go into Grail Knights, and it looks like they are. No, they're shooting at Knights Errant, but anyway, hopefully they'll shoot at Grail Knights. Ignore the Prophetess of Life. She's up in the sky, and you don't have enough to kill her because your Jezzails are almost out of ammo and nothing else can hit her up in the sky. So just kill off the Grail Knights, and then the rest of the game is yours. Grail Knights continuing to run around. The Grey Seer has used a lot of summons. After that, he'll stop being useful as he throws out his last summon. After that, he's just a leadership stat stick. Grail Knights continuing to fight it out. And the Jezzails are out of ammo with 2,300 value on them. I'm going to fast forward at this point as Bretonnia is trying to just, like, get its shit together and maybe get some more healing out, but the bounce power is danger low for them. Grail Knights catch out the Rat Ogres, and with a little bit of archer support might rout them off. But army losses is coming. The last of the Skaven summons fades away. Globes try and throw at Clan Rats. The Skaven are continuing to pursue the Jezzails around. Though Scorch gets rid of the last archer. And Grail Knights get army lost. Caster got 300 value. Hippogriff Knights only 700. Grail Knights only 1,000. Knights Errant also struggled to get their value back. It was a tough time for Bretonnia there. The Trebs did alright. The Trebs did alright. Though I still don't support them. I do not think they are very good. They did okay versus the Avalanche Mortars, though. I'll give them that. Sun directly in the eyes. Yeah, oh, it's great. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. The Council Guard didn't have to do anything. They got 30 value. They were fine. Rat Ogres did fine. Jezzails did okay. I mean, sorry. Triads did okay. Nothing on the Skaven roster got a lot of value, and I think that's because so much money was in the Trebs and the Archers. And those are always weird about value. If you rout them or shatter them but don't kill them, you don't get the value from all their ammo. You get the value from just, like, the specific guys you killed. So it's weird. GG to the Rats. We're rats. We're rats. GG. I appreciate the different caster, different lord option from Bretonnia, but I think there's a reason that you see the same lords over and over again. Is because they're real fucking good. Okay, this is a weird one. I'll cast it. Why not? Dude, why not? We have like a Game 3 pre-Immortal Empires matchup. Like, there's the Things in the Woods and the Auction Ambushers, but the rest of this shit was like land battles before Immortal Empires came out. Irrefutable proof that Skaven are S-tier and you boys dumb. I am dumb, though. Kislev versus Nurgle. On the side of Kislev, we have Little Grom. We have the Wolf Hearts, the Mordheim Beowulfs, which are actually really cool in this matchup. We don't see Nurgle a lot at all, but especially not versus Kislev. And these guys might be one of the reasons. They have 100% healing reduction, which Nurgle relies on healing entirely. So if they get onto like Kugath, or if they get onto the Soul Grinder and just sit there, then he can't heal and he's toast. Some Costified Dervishes for a little bit of calf presence. Front line of Armored Kossar. We do have a Patriarch for a bit of healing. Little Grom, an Ice Witch of Ice with Death Frost and Heart of Winter, a spell I haven't seen in forever, but it can punish a Nurgle infantry blob quite nicely if he blobs. That's it. On the other side for Nurgle, we do have some Plague Toads, 2 Plague Drones with Death's Heads, a front line of Nurglings, one of which is the Frolicker's Bubonic, a Chaos Warrior with great weapons, a Soul Grinder, and Kugath Plaguefather with all of his spells. Wait. Yeah, it is all of his spells. All right. First note for the Nurgle player, if they are in the audience, you usually want like a maximum of 2 spells. The rest of this Nurgle build is not that bad versus Kislev. It's not. Plague Drones are a little risky, especially against the faction that has so much ranged component, but they can be good at sniping out the enemy bear blob if you were worried about that. So I don't hate them, but I think it's objectively like Kugath should only have 2 spells on him. Maybe the heal, maybe Stream of Corruption. Armored Kossars moving forward. They should be able to beat up on these Nurglings unless Kugath and the Soul Grinder get enough support out to help win it. The Nurglings are going to pile up on the Armored Kossars. It'll take a long time to get through those Armored Boys, though. The Plague Drones with Death's Head are coming over to say hello, while Little Grom continues to fire at the Soul Grinder. And what is this? What's happening here? Is that a Rancid? Is that a Fleshy Abundance? Oh, that is a Fleshy Abundance on a full health Nurgling. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's a whoopsie. Should not do that. Fleshy Abundance healing up a chaff unit that's already full health is a big mistake. Now these Plague Drones are trying to shoot the Armored Kossars in the back. Wolfhearts are firing at them, though, and they're taking so much damage. So much damage. Already down to half health for that extremely elite unit. And Kugath and the Soul Grinder are doing pretty well in the front line. The Soul Grinder, I don't know what he's shooting at. Oh, he's shooting at this little blob of cavalry. Yeah, if he can actually hit anything, he'll do decent damage, but the Soul Grinder does that quite a lot, where he misses for literally no reason. I shit-talk the Soul Grinder all day. I have always hated the Soul Grinder Nurgle. I have never thought it's very good, but recently it's done even worse than usual. I don't know why. Its accuracy just seems fucked. Like, it just can't hit anything. Look at that. Look at that. 1 out of 3 shots hit at a giant unit walking straight at it. I don't know why the Soul Grinders miss everything, but they do. They suck. They're so bad. All right. Nurgling's falling apart on the front line. Already demonic instability crumbling away. The Soul Grinder's going to take a charge with the Oath Brothers of Tor, but he is going to lose that fight so bad. He is going to die very, very fast. Death's Heads up and about shooting. It looks like they're shooting at the Kosovo Dervishes, who have taken a lot of damage, but they need to turn around and shoot the Warbearers probably is a better target, or just snipe out the Ice Witch as Kugath continues to throw at things. A Blight Boil was cast near these Armored Kossars, and they calmly walk away from it, and they do manage to dodge it entirely, because Blight Boil takes forever. Plague Toads getting wrecked by Warbear Riders as the Plague Drones of Nurgle dive down onto the Wolfheart. They should actually win that fight, so that'll be a good thing for them as the Oath Brothers of Tor are trying to finish off the Soul Grinder. It looks like he's going to start demonic instability crumbling any second. And the Mordheim Beowulfs are here to reduce any healing that could possibly come in for these units. The Soul Grinder manages to rally, and he's currently not actually getting hit by any of them, so he could technically get a Fleshy Abundance or something, but there we go. He triggers again into that demonic instability crumbling. Then he's back! Negative 20, back up to 11. Back down, back up, back up, back down, back down, back up. At this point, I do think Nurgle is a bit doomed. So Soul Grinder is living on borrowed time. This Chaos Warrior is about dead. Oh, Death Frost plus Crossfire onto the Death's Heads, and they're going to demonic instability crumble away. And then that'll leave just Kugath versus a lot of ranged, including Little Grom, and then a lot of anti-large cavalry, and we even still have this thing that can reduce him from healing at all. And that's brutal. That's brutal. I will ×2 speed this for a little bit as Stream of Corruption takes out some Armored Kossars. Kugath continues to fire, uses a little Nurgling summon. Chaos Warriors of Nurgle are allowed to rally after escaping. That's a bit of a whoopsie on the Kislev side. Though they might be getting a little lazy in their micros. They feel like they've won this game already. I could see that being the case. Definitely been there. Definitely done that. His Death Frost and arrows will slowly poke Kugath to death. And army losses finishes him off. Alright. My ping is not about this tournament. Okay. We have one of our semifinals I'll go cast. Whoever won, go announce that in tourney opponent. Don't tell me. Okay, I got a semifinal replay. I told one of the people who sent me the replay, if he won, to go announce that, hey, I won. Whoever wins the other semifinal. For Dust Bunny, Warbear Riders, really good value on one. The other one actually not as much. Akshina, oh, look at that. 3,300 on the Archers. God damn. Armored Cossars also did fine. GG. Samrak, don't you ping me. The other one, Joel Masandi, I'm guessing that's what his name is. Qgath did fine. Death's Heads did meh. Chaos Warriors did okay. And the rest just got shreked. Classic Nurgle stuff. All right, both semifinals are done. I don't know who won them. I just saved them. There we go. Now I've saved them. So I'll take a break from the Swiss stage replays, and I'll just go cast these semifinals here. Okay. These are no longer Swiss replays. These are the official semifinals and finals. Whoever loses these is out of the tournament. We have High Elves of Olaf the Moose versus Glorious Dust Bunny Armada's Norska. Norska High Elves. We have seen this once before, though I believe it was... damn it. I would know his name if I saw it, but I can't remember it offhand. It was like... Remnant or Revenant Oathbreaker or something. Rogue Consultant, there it is. Rogue Consultant was playing this a bit ago. I have a ping. Why? Hold on. It's my message requests. TY. Okay. So, for Norska and High Elves here, Dust Bunny has triple Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes to pressure Imric a little bit. A bunch of Marauders, some Berserkers, then Dogs, Ice Wolves, Maws of Savagery, Shaman Sorcerer of Fire with Burning Head, Cascading Fire Cloak, and then Wulfric with Sword of Torgald, Hunter of Champions, and Seafang, and he is on horseback. The other side for the High Elves, we have Valyrian Reavers, Imric up in the sky. We do have Lothern Seaguard, Talons of Torquelada, and then a bunch of archers. The Fireborn in a front line of Spearmen and Silverin Guard. Come on, Seafang. Yeah. Seafang probably do good if it gets cast in a Silverin Guard. The High Elves using this little... barrier here to their advantage, and this is not illegal in any way because there's plenty of room to move around the barrier. It is fine to use physical objects to your advantage as long as they're not against the white line, if anybody was wondering about that. But nope, this is completely legit. Marauders taking some damage on the advance, getting shot by a bunch of arrows, and Imric is right above 3 skirmish cav, and this could go bad either way. If Imric gets a breath attack down onto all 3 of these guys, that is a triple value breath attack, and there's Seafang. Oh, there was Seafang. He killed these archers with light armor, and then a burning head goes straight through them. And don't do it again! It's starting to curve, and then it goes straight down the fucking line! Are you serious? No! That shit was going this way, and then as soon as it gets to the perfect spot, it's like, and I meant bump, and goes right down the line. Fuck that noise! Burning head, you're a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. The illusion is shattered. It's not random. It's not random at all. There's some sort of coding or some sort of behavior that just makes it go where it does the most damage. Fuck that spell. I hate that spell. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Just make it go in a straight line. None of this supposed RNG bullshit. It's fucked up. Anyway, Imric is getting massacred, both by Wulfric dueling the hell out of him, and then 3 Marauder Horsemen throwing axes, all chucking at him right now. Hunter of Champions is lowering his armor too, making him even more vulnerable to this throwing axe attack. He does get a regrowth, trying to keep himself in the fight. In the background, Fireborn push off a dog. They're going to push off a Skinwolf, but there's more Skinwolves behind that. Is fighting 3 Skinwolves at the same time. That is too many, even for those Dragon Princes. Imric gets away for a little bit. He's not going to die today, even gets a little bit of Earthblood support, but these Throwing Axe Cav are still just lobbing at him. He has to get out of here. He probably has to go to the back line and try and help the Fireborn out a little bit, as Lava and Seaguard hold the line against dog after dog after dog. The Archer of the High Elves are still online for now. They have lost the Fireborn. Imric's lost a lot of HP. The balance of power is not that bad, though, because Norska has also been getting taxed this whole time. Their Marauder front line is taking a ton of damage. Skirmish Cav have taken some damage here and there, and a very aggressive breath attack from Imric on a wounded Marauder. It just looked spiteful. It looked like he was like, yeah, fuck you, and then he left. But anyway, there's plenty of healing left for the High Elves if they can stall this game out. Some Skinwolves and such are getting chased off the map. We have Illyrian Reavers who appear to be tactical reserves. They seem to be forgotten for now. Speaking of forgotten, why aren't those Skinwolves rallying? They're kind of in the middle of nowhere all by themselves. There they go. They're back. Another Burning Head goes ripping through these guys. Tickles some Maw and Seaguard, hits some archers, and now it's gunning for those spearmen. It's starting to curve back towards him. No, it goes in a straight line. All right, Burning Head, all right. I'll allow it this to... Whoa! Whoa, what was that curve, you fuck? Okay, whatever. Whatever, it's fine, it's fine. Nothing matters, it's okay. Okay, Imric getting another regrowth to try and keep him up and alive. Wulfric did charge some archers, but he gets pushed off by Silverin Guard. Oh yeah, there's Silverin Guard in here. Ooh, both the Silverin Guard are healthy. That's probably why the balance power isn't too bad for High Elves. Hunter of Champions is down under the Mage of Life. She has 0 melee defense, but she is on foot, which can be a problem for certain characters, as Wulfric loses the plot and forgets to attack the Life Mage he was ordered to attack. Maws of Savagery, plus the throwing axe is really hurting Imric, though. Down to 2,000 HP and falling as he barely dodges Wulfric. He barely dodges through some of those throwing axes, and he's about to get back into the sky. As actually, no, he's just going to walk over here and take out this Burning Head caster. He doesn't want any more homing Burning Heads to deal with. And the Silverin Guard could try and carry this game. Illyrian Reavers are finally woken up from the forest, and they can come back. They can start routing off some stuff and maybe chasing them off the map, as Imric does get rid of the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. Wulfric's trying to take a fight here, but Dragonhorn is up, as is the Starland still for a little bit, so I don't know if he actually wants to fight with Wulfric. Olaf the Moose, that first Burning Head drifted harder than the Fast and Furious franchise. It really did, buddy. It really did. Skirmish Cav for the green team are all fine. They're still throwing away to their heart's content, though these Talons of Torquilada plus Imric are going to knock out the Maws of Savagery, and then the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire is down, and all of a sudden the High Elves are looking alive in this game as Norska just disappeared. They have some dogs trying to come back. They have some Skinwolves trying to come back. Wulfric's still 2/3 HP, but they've lost their caster. They've lost the Maws of Savagery. Most of their infantry are gone. There's a big breath attack from Imric onto already almost dead Marauder Berserkers. Unfortunately, I do not think that was the play. And a nice Sea Fang goes through the Silverin Guard, does a little bit of damage to them. But I think that I think the breath attack maybe would have been better onto... I guess there's not a lot of good targets, but maybe at an angle onto the Marauder Horseman or directly above Wulfric when he's in a melee fight. Shaman Sorcerer of Fire is going to ride away on his pony, so he'll be back. And Illyrian Reaver's going to get caught up by dogs. The High Elves making some mistakes in the late game is going to cost them. Looks like these Illyrian Reavers are forfeit. The Firecaster is back. And can Imric turn this around? Can he dive in onto Wulfric? He's trying to, but he overshoots it. Not the player's fault, just dragon things. He does overshoot his shot, and now Hunter of Champions is down. Wulfric should be able to wreck him, especially with Skinwolf support. This is going to be the death of Imric and maybe the death of the High Elves. But oh, is it? Silverin Guard coming in to assist. Wulfric is on a horse, meaning all of these spears have great targets, and the throwing axes use the last of their ammunition onto Imric, who is trying to dodge as best he can. He's gotten a ton of healing throughout this game, and Lord of Dragons is down onto Wulfric, making him a very bad melee combatant. He opts out, and these Skinwolves are in. They are in, baby, in. The Terror Route will hit them very soon. There they go. Illyrian Reavers are dead, though, like we mentioned at the offset of this late game here. And that is a Burning Head from the world's greatest Burning Head caster through all these High Elves. Routes off a Spearman, almost routes a Silverin Guard, almost routes another Spearman. Good damage, and those Skinwolves are broken. Norska still has mobility. They still have healing in some of their Skinwolves. But their time is limited. Does Star Dragon do fire damage with its breath attack? Yes. Yes, it do. Little fast forward here, as Norska faffs about and the High Elves are just trying to heal. Throwing axes, 1 volley left on them. Otherwise, Skinwolves are regenerating as much as possible. And this is... I was talking to some people recently, and they were asking me what the meta is. The meta is mobility, because you get into situations like this when you have just infantry, is you can't pick any fights. So the opponent can, like, cycle charge you or surround you or delay and try and heal. So really it is important in the late game to have some form of mobility advantage or ranged advantage. But when you have just melee infantry, it does get a little tough to close out a game. Dogs are filtering in. It looks like they're going to stack up. Not getting effective charges off. And the Skinwolves also conga line in. But we do get a Spearman routed. Dragonhorn is out. That should be the last Dragonhorn of Imric, right? Yeah, it's the last Dragonhorn. But another Burning Head from the world's greatest Burning Head caster is going to go through, rip apart these Silvering Guard. Even with their spell resist, even with 75 armor, it's still decent damage. It wasn't overcast, I don't think, but still. The Hive Spear lines are holding for now. It's going to be very important that Norska actually runs off anything that routes. They can't let it come back, otherwise they lose all of their advantages. Skinwolves back off. They're going to regenerate up a little bit. Killing these Silvering Guard could be a problem. Fast forward for just a second as Berserkers opt in for the last little shanking that they can offer. And Wulfric is going to dive on Imric, who overextended. He takes 2 nasty shots while under the effect of the Hunter of Champions. And then the Marauder Horsemasters charge in. Horsemen, sorry. The Silvering Guard are routing. A lot of stuff's routing, and Wulfric was going for the kill on Imric, but it looks like the Skinwolves will be able to clean up out on the other side. He is just tromping about, trying to stay alive, and then he routes. He's down to -4 leadership. His speed is 48 as Norska and Ice Wolf slow him down for a brief moment, then they route off. But if Imric dies, then the High Elf leadership is going to dip enough that they might get routing. But the Spearmen for now are doing good work, still getting healed up by that caster. Imric's at 200 HP. And not falling for now. It's still been at 200 on our left-hand side of our screen for just a second. Wulfric is trying to cycle charge, trying to get in onto that Mage of Life. Thought I saw him pop something, but I guess not. Spearman route. Imric dies. The High Elf leadership goes down. Spearmen are routing. The Silvering Guard that is above half HP is down to 6 leadership. Another Silvering Guard at half HP is at a ton, and it looks like Norska just FFs. Did not want to wait for another Burning Head. Did not want to wait for the Skinwolves to just charge in. So looks like he just took the L. Very, very close game. Very, very close game. Just kind of scrolled through the values. You get the gist. The Silvering Guard held like champions. But that Burning Head, man. The Burning Heads. 1,500 value on just Burning Head is actually kind of nutty. Okie dokie. Olaf messaged me and he called me a punk-ass bitch. I didn't like that. I said, hey, don't say that about me. And he said, fuck you, nerd. And I said, hey, that's not nice. No, he didn't say those things. Norska gave up? I think the High Elves gave up. The High Elves gave up. It was a Norska win because Dust Bunny went to the finals. I know that much. All right, other semifinal. Lysaurus versus J Skill. The skill of the Jays. Tomb Kings versus Demons of Chaos. How did our boy J Skill end up on Demons of Chaos? How was that possible? Who allowed this to happen? Oh, did I say Norska FF? That's my bad. The High Elves FF. The High Elves FF. All right. Hello? Okay, streaming software's still working. We haven't fully crashed yet. Total War Warhammer has crashed, so I need to turn that off. My Google Chrome also crashed. Whew. Okay. My whole computer stopped for a second, and I managed to hit Task Manager fast enough before it blue screened out on me, because I've seen that before. So Google Chrome fell apart and Warhammer fell apart, but we're still here. Poofda. We almost had a disaster on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Replay, first one. Go. That could have been bad. You can tell Turin started streaming his land battle tournament because our viewership dipped by 25. We lost a third of our viewers. Reload this up, hope it doesn't crash this time, and get it moving on. Please buff the Tomb King kitties, make them awesome. Yeah, they need some buffs, it's true. Let's try that again. For the Tomb Kings of Losaurus, we have Arc in the Black, Spirit Leech, and Doom and Darkness. Really good spell versus the Demons of Chaos. Maybe also Aspect of the Dread Knight for the magic damage, but I really like Doom and Darkness for just getting something that's low and taking it into full demonic disability crumbling. Then we have 2 Nehekara Horsemen, as my camera gets janked way across the map because I double-clicked. Then we have the Kepler Guard, a bunch of Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Spearmen, some Sepulchral Stalkers, the Sphinx of Usef, Necro Sphinx. It does have magic damage, fire damage, which can get rid of some healing, and then it is anti-large armor piercing. So it's pretty good at pushing off anything the Demons of Chaos bring. If they bring some sort of like large hero hammer with like Uncle Frunkle and things like that. We also have a Necrotect with Restore, and that is it. On the other side, for the Demons of Chaos, we have Grand Vomitus with Fleshy Abundance, Stream of Corruption. Nurglings, Blue Horrors, including the Chromatic Abominations. We have 2 or 3 Pink Horrors, 3 Plague Toads of Nurgle, 2 Screamers, and 2 Flesh Hounds. For a very balanced Demons of Chaos build. No, don't leave me. Engaging attacks, bro. The front lines have collided. Arkan did throw out a Skeleton Summon onto the Chromatic Abominations just to buy a little bit of time, but the Laser Light Show, that is the Demons of Chaos ranged component, are doing good damage to the Tomb Kings. And so far, the Tomb Kings don't have a great response. Now they are moving out some Nehekara Horsemen to get a little bit of damage done, but it looks like Fleshhounds of Khorne will be countercharging those guys. And they should trade well, as Grand Vomitus throws down the first Fleshy Abundance of the game onto himself as he kills off more Skeleton Warriors. Plague Toads of Nurgle do disrupt some Skeleton Spearmen for a bit, but while they're getting shot by their own forces every so often, and the Sphinx of Usef is hitting them, they're probably going to Demonic Disability crumble quite soon. The Tomb Kings have lost a lot of troops, though. Looking across the front line, their front line is suffering, man. Pure suffering. Another Spirit Leech from Arkan onto Grand Vomitus, taxing him down just a little bit by a little bit. And the Nehekara Horseman that sallied forth to do some damage got instead massacred. Because everything on the Demons of Chaos roster, even their ranged units, are decent melee combatants. So the Nehekara Horseman being not very good cavalry is just not enough. It's too much against them, honestly. Sepulchral Stalkers setting up to shoot these Flesh Hounds. As soon as the Skeleton Spearmen fade away, the Obstructed will wear off, and they should get one good volley before they're beset by their foes. Plague Toads of Nurgle still trying to get through the Skeleton front line. The Sepulchral Stalkers on this end are completely surrounded by junk, which they're not enjoying whatsoever. Chromatic Abominations firing into all these guys, and King Catch the Scorpion Legion will have to move up soon and offer a little bit of support. Something is happening. I heard a doo-woo-woo. What was that? Oh, okay, it just sounded weird to me. But it's Doom and Darkness onto Grand Vomitus right here, so he's minus 16 leadership. His leadership's at 21 and falling. If he starts Demonic Instability crumbling while that Doom and Darkness is active, he could just die from above half HP because Demons of Chaos reasons. I told you that's a good spell versus them. It looks like it was a little preemptive, as he is still much too high on HP to actually start Demonic Instability crumbling, and it looks like the Necro Sphinx might have something to say about that as it comes back over here. He is still taking damage. Doom Darkness has 13 seconds left, but it's going to wear off. His leadership should be fine, though he is still in a bad situation. He's about to start taking damage from the Sphinx of Usef, as he gets a big shot down. Meanwhile, Demons of Chaos are crumbling across the board. We're losing a Plague Toad over here. A Flesh Hound happened to disappear earlier, and there goes Grand Vomitus. So now that Doom of Darkness would be potent. As he tries to get away, tries to get in the sky. Pink Horrors are continuing to fire at anything they can get their little hands on. And Screamers dive the Sparkle Stalkers. That will get a lot of good damage down and get the Demons of Chaos back in this game a bit, but Grand Vomitus is just too slow on the ground. Nekar Horseman plus the Sphinx of Ustaf are just keeping on him. He can't get away from here. I wonder if he can get a tier 2 armor ability of Nurgle to heal up a little bit, or Fleshy Abundance. There's a Fleshy Abundance. At least he can stall this out and continue running, but he can't stop and fight. He will lose that fight so badly. Demons of Chaos still doing okay everywhere besides a single entity fight. Like I said, the Screamers catching the Sporkle Stalkers is a huge win for the Demons of Chaos, and right when they need one. Something is getting cast here. Another Doom and Darkness out onto Grand Vomitus, really trying to get him into that Demonic Instability Crumbling territory. And he is kind of bouncing around there as the Sphinx of Usef continues to chase him around. But things are looking good for the Tomb Kings. We're about to lose these Fleshhounds, we're about to lose these Blue Horrors, we're about to lose these Nurglings, so their units are just going to crumble away into nothing quite quickly. Screamers doing good work on the Sneaky Snakes. But Vomitus needs to find some way into the air, and he's just not able to do it right now. Dust Bunny, I knew you'd abandon me. I knew you would. And that's why you've abandoned me right now. In front of our very eyes. King Kesh the Scorpion Legion getting shot at by the Blue Horrors of Tzeentch. Actually, the Chromatic Abominations Blue Horrors of Tzeentch, but you get the point. And Vomitus actually managed to get back to his troops without taking too much damage, so now at least the Nekar Horseman will get peeled off. And the Sphinx does too, so he's actually going to get up into the sky. And that could be the Demons of Chaos way back into this game. Sporkle Stalkers might rally, but they are crumbling for now. Other Sporkle Stalkers are dead. The Tomb King's ranged is all gone. They are entirely melee now. I don't know what kills the Sphinx of Usef at this point. It actually is a problem, not a meme in this context. There's not a lot to kill it. Vomitus is doing his best over here, but I wonder if Vomitus can find a way to go kill Arkan. Maybe that's his ticket into this game and then just whittle the Sphinx down, but I don't know. I don't know, man. We just lost a Screamer. We have 2 pink horrors with ammunition left, but they need peeling. They'll need Vomitus to go out there and say hello. Overcast, Doom, and Darkness from Arkan the Black, really trying to finish this game off. Gets 1 blue horror crumbling. The Chromatic Abominations are also going to start crumbling, and that is a big spell cast from Arkan. Took out 2 blue horrors, essentially. Vomitus in a fight with the Sphinx that he does not want at all, in any capacity. And Fleshhounds are actually taken out to go deal with the Kepler Guard. And if these pink horrors could shoot the Kepler Guard are weak to fire damage, which these guys do. But it is too little. It is too late for the Demons of Chaos. They're just running into everything wrong with their roster. All of the demonic stability crumbling, low armor, things like that. Thanks, Trogdor. Army losses will hit. And Jay's skill, with an impressive game on a dogshit faction, is knocked out. So our finals will be Losaurus versus Dust Bunny Armada. For Losaurus, Necrosphinx and Arkan both did very well. Sporkle Stalkers did okay, but they got shut down by a good Screamer flank. And then the Skeleton front line just did fine. But most of the damage value came from demonic instability crumbling, taking all the units out. Fleshhound struggled a bit. Pink and blue horrors did alright. Screamers both did well. Plague Toads did some disruption, but that's about it. And then blue horrors did okay. GG. What if the Demon Prince could give leadership to demon units? That way there's less demonic instability and the Demon Prince gets the buff it needs. That could be good. That could be good. I personally just wish that demonic units were cheaper. So that, because like, I think it's really satisfying to demonic instability crumble something. I just think it feels good. As the player doing it, not the player having their units crumble away, right? But for like, it's just insane. Demonic pricing is completely wild for what the units are, in most cases. Nurglings are $350. That's like a clan rat with shields. That's like a fucking Empire swordsman. They're not that good. They're not nearly that good. That's a skeleton spearman for the Tomb Kings. No, they're not that good. Fleshhounds were okay. Now they're kind of not. They've taken some nerfs. Plague Toads are $650. Okay, they're not worth that. They're like 500, probably. Maybe 550, not 650. Screamers are decent. Pink horrors are decent. Anything top tier for the demons, though, is insanely priced. Like Blood Crushers, 1400 for something that could immediately just die. No. Shit sucks. Seekers, 1000 gold for something that gets wrecked. Plague drones, 900 for something that just gets wrecked and does no damage. Like, their cost is all over the place. So if you want to have demonic instability be this like shotgun that just takes a unit out, that's great. But you need to be super cheap then, so your units getting murdered isn't a big deal. But they're really expensive for what they do. Okay. All right, let's load up the next game from our Swiss stage. Our finals are being played right now, and I'm going through these replays, and let's find something spicy. Let's find something a little fun. That's fun. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. Boo. That's fun. Ooh, Brett Grand Cathay. I'm gonna pass on that one. Ogre Kingdom's Kislev, and it looks like it's a bear blob versus a crusher blob, so I'm going to pass on that one. I'm just deleting replays that I don't feel like casting, because we're not going to have time to cast them all, so I'm going to cast ones that I feel like casting. We have cast a decent amount of both of these players, so I don't feel bad about skipping that one. Cast a decent amount of... Well, wait, hold on. Okay, I didn't cast any of Zimmerick, so I'll cast this one. Watch replay. As it loads up, I'm going to go to the bathroom again, because I had a lot of tea. Don't judge me. Oi! Oh boy. I return. I thought I turned my mic off, but I guess not. So you might have heard a toilet flush. If so, woo. Okay. Losaurus's Chaos Dwarves versus the Vampire Counts of Zymerix, or something along those lines. He had a Z name that was rather long. Skeleton Warriors, Zombies for the Undead. Some Crypt Horrors and Graveguard with great weapons for a little bit of armor piercing and anti-infantry stuff. Vargeist for more anti-armor. And then Blood Knights and Direwolves flanking. We have Heinrich Kemmler and a White King. The White King only has Heroic Killing Blow. Kemmler has his Krell Summon, Zombie Summon, Invocation Hack. On the other side, we have Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Chaos Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. The Blazing Beards of Basrak with their blasting charges, which are currently going to delete a Skeleton Warrior unit. Goodbye, Skeleton Warriors. 2 Infernal Guard with Fire Glaives, some Hobgoblin Cutthroats in the back, then Hashestark Ravagers, a Cathay Fireborn, and a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with Burning Head and Cascading Firecloak. Oh god, there's the Chillgeists. Hello. Okay, they were in the Vanguard. I missed them, apparently. But yes, we have Chillgeists and a rear charge in from the Vargeist. I like this a lot. As Hashestark Ravagers get an emergency Cascading Firecloak to give them 76 melee defense and keep them in this fight. Invocation to Heck is trying to heal up the Vargeist, but the Chillgeists and the Vargeist are struggling to get through Hashestark Ravagers. With that Cascading Firecloak, their melee defense is just too high. And the front line is going. So that Burning Head should miss the rest of the front line unless it curves, as it hits both Skeleton Warriors and Zombies. Oh, look, it curved! That's crazy! Anyway, whatever. Zombie summons onto those guys. Oh, look, it curved! That's crazy! As it goes through these zombies too. Sorry, these Skeleton Warriors, kills all of them off. Starts to go through the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and then it misses the other Chaos Dwarf Warriors because of reasons. Hashestark Ravagers did take a lot of damage, though they are slowly prevailing with the help of the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. Chillgeists are going to charge into the back of these Hobgoblin Cutthroats, terror out them off, and try and contribute their armor piercing to the Infernal Guard Fire Glaives. But they just don't have enough strength to do so. They're crowding in on these Infernal Guard, but they're getting no damage out. Meanwhile, these other Infernal Guard are firing back at them. Blood Knights have taken a lot of damage. They need an Invocation to Heck to stay alive and stay up. Frontline fight is progressing slowly. The Chaos Dwarf frontline is a bunch of dwarfs, so they're chilling. They are vibing, and Blood Knight's actually going to try and take a charge on the Cathay Fireborn. That is a great target for them. They would love to have a fight with those Fireborn any day of the week. Chillgeist getting away from the fight for now, trying not to crumble, but crumble they shall, and Hashed Stark Ravagers finish off the Vargeists. No, they actually got away. They have a little bit of life left in them. Another Burning Head goes out through the Skeleton Warriors, killing them off. Vampire Coast on the back, on the back foot. Blood Knight's just about dead. Chillgeists are dead. Krell Summon is out. Gonna try and disrupt some Infernal Guard with Fireglaves. Kemmler is trying to fight alongside his dogs against these Infernal Guard with Fireglaves. It doesn't seem to matter too much. And what are the Vargeists gonna do? What are the Vargeists gonna do? Zombies and Graveguard Great Weapons fighting against Chaos Dwarf Warriors. The Chaos Dwarf Warriors seem plenty happy to just fight it out. Cathay Fireborn fighting against Krell, along with Hobgoblin Cutthroats, and the Blood Knights are going to charge. Are they charging the Cathay, or are they charging at the Fireglaves? It looks like the Cathay, which is a better target for them damage-wise, because they don't do much damage versus the Infernal Guard Fireglaves, though it is unfortunate they just have to take the shots from it. Vargeists are returning to the fight. Kemmler Summons are desperately trying to keep those Fireglaves shut down, and the White King is fighting back against Hashed Stark Ravagers, though they were that damaged when they started this fight, so I imagine they've taken very little damage from the White King. They're mostly just punking him. Kemmler is under attack from our Sorcerer Prophet friend, as he takes a bunch of damage. Bounce power continues to get worse for the vampire counts, and that's with a full health Krell. Once Krell fades away, which, to be fair, will be quite a while, but once he fades away, this is probably doomed for the vampire counts. Infernal Guard got out of the dogs and zombies. These Burning Heads have been hilarious, dude. Yeah. Burning Head is an S tier spell. It is true. Whenever I take a Firecaster, I pretty much only take Burning Head because it's just such an amazing spell. And it is great for clearing out chaff. I just wish it didn't have that fucking curve because the curve feels so bullshit. If it was just a straight line, like, yes, just cast it and aim it appropriately, then you're fine. But the fact that it'll, like, curve and just decide games based on RNG is too much. It pisses me off. Really good value for a lot of these units. Hashed Stark Ravagers and the Burning Head caster. Fergal Fireglaves also did well. Chaos Dwarf Warriors were going absolutely nowhere on that front line. They held, like, linebackers. For Zimmerix, I think his build was fun. I think his build was silly. I don't think it was particularly competitive, as we saw. Like, the Chillgeists got all of the best engagements they could hope for. They got all the support in the world, and they still just sucked and died without getting even half their value. That's like, he played well with him, he just played well with a really bad unit, unfortunately. Blood Knights also didn't have too much to do here, but I really liked his play. So I do hope to see more of him in the future. It just seems like his builds, and this is with the caveat of, like, meta, right? So if he wants his builds to be meta, his builds need some work. If he's just taking units he enjoys and having fun with them, then more power to you, you do that, but just saying. Alright, we don't have our finals game yet, so I will continue to cast more replays from the Swiss stage, though I'm now just filtering through what I found interesting, not just casting every single game in front of me. We have not had any greenskins today. Ooh, but I just cast a Lysaurus game. Let's do this one. J-Skill versus Joyboy. Tomb Kings and Skaven. How dare they include RNG? That's, like, fair, Dustland. Though at this point, I don't think the Burning Heads are RNG. I think they're coded to, like, curve and do as much damage as possible, which is annoying me. Anyway. Joyboy versus J-Skill. Skaven versus Tomb Kings. A very common matchup for Skaven these days because it's, like, even. And they don't have a lot of even matchups, so they'll take them when they can get them. For the Tomb Kings, we have a front line of Skeleton Spearmen, Cetra the Imperishable on his giant kitty cat, then another giant kitty cat. We do have a Necrotect with a heal for the kitty cats. Chosen of the Gods of Shopti Great Bows can absolutely slap Jezzail, so I hope they get shots onto the Jezzail soon. For now, they're firing at the Avalanche Mortars, and they do not do nearly as much damage to the Avalanche Mortars as they do to the Jezzails. We have a single shot Ushapti Great Bow as well, Eyes of the Desert, and then some cavalry, including Skeleton Horse Archers. The single shot Ushapti should be shooting at the Avalanche Mortars. The multi-shot should shoot at Natty Buboes if they can find them, because I think these guys are stalked while they're shooting, unless someone's close enough. For the Skaven, we do have a Greyseer of Plague with his Summon and Pestilent Breath. We have Clan Rats, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers, some Night Runner Slingers, a bunch of Clan Rat Spears, Wolf Rats, Rat Ogres, the Avalanche Mortars, and Natty Bubo Sharpshooters. Sporkle Stalkers were shooting at the Greyseer for a bit, but he's on his way out now, and a Clan Rat Summon is thrown in his absence just to provide a little bit of annoyance for the Tomb King's forces. Avalanche Mortars are already pushed off the field pretty much. There they go, routing, but they've already gotten 150 kills. And this is a real Clan Rat that just got terror-routed by a side charge, but the Greyseer uses Bound Scorch down the line of these Skeleton Spearmen, and the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers deal fire damage, which is pretty good against the Tomb Kings. Not all Tomb Kings units are weak to fire, though all Tomb Kings units get the Realm of Souls healing. So if you put them on fire, that means their healing from their army passive is half as effective, which is why fire damage is so good against the Tomb Kings. Art Splash. True. What you said, just the raw truth. So the Clan Rat frontline is mostly getting routed off by Cetra and his cats and his horsemen and stuff, but the Skaven backline is continuing to fire, and that is a way bigger problem than their Clan Rats. Cetra's trying to get something done about it, though he's currently getting poked in the butt by Jezzails, and now a bunch of Rat Ogres are after him. He's down to half HP already. Chosen of the Gods firing in. Oh, they're still firing the Avalanche Mortars. Why? Please just shoot at the Natty Bubos. You do so much damage to the Natty Bubos. No, it's a disaster for the Tomb Kings. Oh, they can like literally kill the Natty Bubos in 1.5 volleys. It's insane if they fire at them. Sporkle Stalker still trying to shoot the Greyseer, and this could be a good way for the Tomb Kings to win the game. If they snipe out the Greyseer, the Skaven's leadership's so bad that they'll just cycle right off the map. Khemrian War Sphinx in the back line could disrupt the Natty Bubo Sharpshooters, so Tomb Kings getting back in this game by some good positioning of their cats and their Sporkle Stalkers. Greyseer's going to wander away. Cetra's also going to wander away. Everyone's taking an L and backing off. Sakura finals are done? Good. As long as you sent me a replay, that's fine. This Sphinx stopped in the middle of these Clan Rats, though. He is not continuing on in the Natty Bubo Sharpshooter, so he's going to take some free damage here, and that'll be a problem, especially because he's not... I mean, he's just sitting in spears, so obviously that's not going to be great. Clan Rat Summon is terror-routed off of the Ushapti. Cetra spending some of his time securing his ranged advantage while also trying to wait for spells to heal him up, because he's taking a decent amount of damage. I guess I can get that. Wolf Rats in the back line chased off Skeleton Horse Archers, I believe, off screen. It's the only thing that was back there. It's the only reason they'd be there. But this Khemrian War Sphinx cannot just keep sitting in these Clan Rats. He needs to pick a different target and get out of here. Ushapti Summon from the Tomb King's army passive is out, and they actually used a restore on the summon, plus Nero's Incantation of Protection. Just really wants to keep this summon up that's holding 3 Rat Ogres down. I guess I can understand that. Sporkle Stalkers try and peel off the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. And Chosen of the Gods are firing at Night Runners. It looks like they really need to finish off Natty Bubos. And this Khemrian War Sphinx, unfortunately, has been blundered. At this point, he has just been wasted. He's lost so much health fighting these spears instead of shutting down the ranged of the enemy. Basic Ushapti Great Bow shooting at the Greyseer is fantastic. Sporkle Stalkers, looks like they're shooting at Rat Ogres. That's fine, but you probably just want to finish off the Greyseer. That is your only hope now, is the Lord Snipe the Skaven. Khemrian War Sphinx continuing to fight these spears. Please! Please, Joy Boy, just tell it to kill the sharpshooters! Please! God damn it. This is the second game in a row of casting Skaven that the Natty Bubo sharpshooters have just been left alone to shoot until they're out of ammo, and then they get a ton of value. And then people tell me Skaven are good, and I'm like, are they? Are they good? Or are there some whoopsies? Are there a couple whoopsies that we could maybe acknowledge turn how the game went? Just a couple little whoops. Ugh. Greyseer died. So we'll see how long the Skaven can hold on without their leadership. Already we have some Clan Rats, already we have some Wolf Rats who are going to rout off. Cetra's trying to get a rear charge on some of these Rat Ogres. And Sporkle Stalker's running a little low on ammunition. Natty Boobo Sharpshooter's still sharpened and still shooting. 2 Night Runners with slings also have tons of ammo left to contribute to the fight. You know, Shopty Great Bows. Getting hit by Rat Ogres, this is good. This is really good. Especially, like, honestly, I like this. I don't know if it was a conscious thing from J-Skill, but, like, fuck the Chosen of the Gods. They only have 4 volleys left. To hell with them. These guys have 9, so just kill them. Kill them. They're way more important than the Chosen of the Gods. Chosen Gods are going to get their last 4 shots off, then they're just a half-assed melee unit. It's fine. Rest in the arms of Petra, brave but foolish Sphinx. Tomb King's running out of front line to hide behind. Their Eyes of the Desert are swarmed by Rat Ogres and Clan Rats. Clan Rats are holding for now. Natty Boobo Sharpshooters, 3 volleys left. Chosen of the Gods, 3 volleys left. And these regular Shopty are also the target of the Sharpshooters. The Sharpshooters have had really good target priority all game long. They've got 2,600 value to show for it. So they're doing good. Skaven clumping up together to try and assure each other that it's going to be okay. Assure each other that they're going to be fine. Keep their leadership nice and high. Don't get isolated out. I like that a lot. They're going to finish off this Ushopti Great Bow. Chosen and Natty Boobo's firing their last few volleys. But it's not going to be enough. Cetra cannot carry. Cetra cannot command this day. Or can he? Oh, God. Everything's routing for the Skaven. I've seen this one before, and it hurts. Oh, it hurts my soul. Everything's routing. Why? Stop routing, you fucking cowards! Just fight! Just fight him! As the Chosen of the Gods fire into the Rat Ogres that are routing. They now have used the last of their ammunition. They're going to charge up to help Cetra in melee soon, probably, as Cetra routs off all of these Rat Ogres. He throws a Cursed Blades on himself for a bit of healing. Oh, no. Dust Bunny, what does that mean? Dust Bunny, is that a good thing? Is that a threat? Are you threatening me? What's happening? As all the Skaven are routing, the Night Runners continue to throw, etc. Everybody's fucking routing! Oh! No, my Skaven! No, what's wrong with you? Oh, their leadership's so bad, bro. And I know that's like the point. But still. Cetra's trying to go get himself some Night Runners, but without him like rear charging or terror routing all these things off, the Rat Ogres and Clan Rat Spears have managed to stabilize, and they are going to kill the Chosen of the Gods, and that might trigger army losses. And Cetra takes forever to kill these things. And I say that as he gets an amazing charge straight through the Night Runners and immediately routs them. And then he heals himself some more. Holy shit, there's no way Cetra can carry this whole game. Really? Really? No, there's no way. That Night Runner that was routed is going to rally in just a second. Cetra probably should have just walked it off the map, to be honest. Probably should have, probably could have, probably would have. Cetra is trying to charge now into the Night Runners who have stood and trying to fight at last. Another incantation of protection, this one giving him physical resistance and still healing him up a little bit, though it is just a teensy-weensy little bit. And Cetra needs to get a charge on these guys that are attacking him, otherwise he's going to take a lot of damage. He's trying to charge now. He does get a charge attack off, and the Slingers will do a little bit of friendly fire damage on their own forces, but the Rat Ogres, I think they've been terror routed too recently. I don't think they're going to terror rout again, and they should be able to drag Cetra down as the Necrotech continues to try and get something done. Another Cursed Blade, still trying to heal himself up, still trying to get out of here, as one of the Rat Ogres actually does terror rout. Dogs might follow suit, but it's too much damage. Cetra's going to start crumbling. That is GG. Okay, that got a little risky. But I think Joy Boy, if you're watching this, I don't know how much Joy Boy watches my content because he is in Espanol. That War Sphinx getting tied up in Clan Rats instead of getting attack orders onto the Natty Boobos really did decide this game, judging by how close it was in the end. Just some unfortunate stuff there. He was forgotten in the middle of all those Clan Rats. Rip. Cetra did okay. Got very, very, very little value because the Tomb King's kitties are weird. Chosen of the Gods, new shop to Great Bows did very well. We love those. Skeleton Horseman got wrecked too. For J Skill, Grayseer did fine. Dilly died. Natty Boobos did amazing. Avalanche Mortars didn't get a lot of value, but they got a good amount of kills because skeletons just aren't worth a lot. Rat Ogres all did well. Wolf Rats did well. Night Runner Slingers did fantastically. And then Clan Rats did Clan Rat things. That was a random replay for fun. That was a for fun replay. Now, I have been told by both finalists that I have a banger final replay to watch, everybody. So let's focus up. Now, this is the last replay of the day that matters. So what's going to happen here is, well, matters is a strong word because that could be insulting, but you'll get my point. This replay we're about to watch is the finals of the tournament. Whoever wins this wins the tournament. Then I'm going to go back through the replays that were sent to me, and I will cast any from this tournament that I still find interesting. And if I don't find them interesting, then we're not going to cast them because, the stream is over at that point. Right. But this next one is the finals. And then if that's all you care about, you can leave after this one. If you just want to watch some more fun replays, or if you're wondering if one of the replays I'm going to cast might be your own, then feel free to hang around. Okay? But this is the finals. Who wins the tournament between Losaurus and the glorious Dust Bunny Armada? Losaurus was one of the dark horses I mentioned at the start. I said Galroch/Durthu was going to be my tournament favorite. And he did go 3-1. He did not have a bad day. We just had a bunch of 4-0s, so he didn't make it into the post game. But he only lost one game today. My boy Galroch. Anyway, him and Guillaume have fallen out. Losaurus, I did mention, could be a threat, so if he wins, I don't feel entirely wrong about how today went. Dust Bunny, I don't want to do you dirty. I'm just being honest. In my past, watching your replays, you seem like a fun guy, but you're not one I pegged for, like, this guy's a fucking tournament favorite. Every game I'm betting on him. You've been kind of playing out of your mind today, and I don't know if you usually just meme around on my channel or something, but yeah, you have definitely stepped up. So, while you got to finals, I don't feel like it was a fluke watching your games today. You have looked pretty crisp. A lot of your builds are pretty good. A lot of your target priority is pretty good. So, good job, Dust Bunny. Good job. Don't know if it's just a glow up. Don't know if you've always been this good and you've just been memeing, but having a good day. Losaurus, this is about his level. This is why I kind of pegged him as one of the tournament upsets. It's not shocking. Like, he's always been pretty solid. He took a break from the game, which does count against him a bit, but, like, as far as new players go, right? We're talking about new players. I'm not talking, like, Losaurus versus Voidlaws. It's a close game. It's a close best of 5 going all 5 games. No, that's a fucking 3-0. But compared to new players, yeah, Losaurus is pretty fucking scary. Okay, but we have a replay in front of us. We have 3 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, Hash's Dark Ravagers, and another Bull Centaur Render with great weapons. Then Chaos Dwarf Warriors across the front line, Hobgoblin Cutthroats all around, though some of them are taking a long way around. And then a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with, say it with me, Burning Head! Burning Head! Burning Head! Though it's less good against Kislev because, armor. For the Kislevites of Dust Bunny, we have 3 Armored Kossars, a regular Kossar in the backfield, the Wolf Hearts, Auction Ambushers with their net, 2 Warbear Riders, one with the Oath Brothers Tour next to the Patriarch. You have an Ice Witch of Tempest with Blizzard, and then Crystal Sanctuary for herself, a Little Grom, and 2 Kossovite Dervishes. Cool. Chaos Dwarfs piling into the Armored Kossars while their Hobgoblin Cutthroats try and path past the front line, knowing that they're not going to get through the Armored Kossars. They're just going to leave them with the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. And I really like this. This is good stuff to do if you have more infantry than your opponent. You need to make that space count. Because I see a lot of the times, I'm going to pause it because I don't want to miss too much, but this is important, right? We saw in some earlier replays, like, if this is we saw it with skeletons and zombies a lot, but like, if this is a zombie and that's a skeleton, in replays where there's a mistake, this skeleton just goes into here, and then you have 2 units standing here doing nothing, because they're not going to do double the damage. They just pile up on each other, but still, like, if 10 models are in contact with both sides, if you add a whole another unit, you're still going to have 10 models in contact. It doesn't matter with infantry. Now, if you pile monstrous infantry on top of infantry, that's different, but those are monsters, right? So I really like this, and I do hope we see it more when people take wider front lines. You realize that you have to just abuse the spaces on the enemy line, and just throw infantry in and make them stress out. Don't blob up, otherwise these 3 Armored Kossars would be holding back 6 units and instead of 3. Because currently they're holding back 3, and Losaurus is just like, alright, fuck you, I'm going to go around. So, that's good. Just a note for anybody that was in this tournament and realizes that it could do something. This is not going to be good for the Chaos Dwarves, I don't think. The Warbear Riders were born for this fight, and they even have healing support, so I think these guys need to back off. They have a bit of Hobgoblin support. Maybe that can help out, but I don't really know how much it's going to do. Yep, the Warbear Riders are slaughtering these Bull Centaur Renders. It is a rough start for the Chaos Dwarves on that front. The other side, Burning Head does damage to the Kossars. Really the only unit they can get a lot of damage value onto. Everything else is armored. And Little Grom is still firing, but we'll see for how long they can keep him alive, because the Chaos Dwarves are still trying to push in there. Some of their infantry are moving out to the flanks, trying to get involved somewhere. The Warbear Riders are currently getting on a little bit of a heal up right now, trying to avoid all these chaff. Don't want to fight the Bull Centaur Renders on the chaff. And a Blizzard from Kislev hits all 3 Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, but they do manage to walk away, still taking a good amount of damage. They'll be okay. And for now, Kislev is doing a great job defending this position with very little infantry. It's just like the cavalry is mostly where they need to be. Things in the woods are where they need to be. The Chaos Dwarves did get a little distracted with this flank. I guess they're trying to pressure down these Warbear Riders come hell or high water, though I would worry that Kislev just, like, runs away. Like, just flat out runs away over here. But we'll see what comes of these Hobgoblins. One Bull Centaur Render is essentially out of the game. Quick Burning Head goes through some Kosovo Dervishes and curves into the Wolf Hearts. Takes them down to about half HP. Both sides are taking a lot of damage, but this is what we were worried about. You can only hold back the tide for so long as these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders are going to get in onto Little Grom, and they're also firing onto the things in the woods. Doing good damage. They should honestly be able to beat up Little Grom. He only has 28 melee defense. I guess he has 105 armor, but whatever. They should still stop him from shooting at least. The Wolf Hearts are firing on Hashut's Dark Ravagers. They're doing okay. And the Warbears are now falling back like we thought they might. They're trying to come back to the central position. Kislev's infantry has performed admirably, but they are running out. It's just been a battle of attrition, and they're way outnumbered in that front. Pack Trap onto the Source of Prophet of Fire. It's decent poke, but with his little, his Chalice of Blood and Darkness, he's probably just going to heal up. Unless you're going to kill him, I wouldn't bother. You might just want to be shooting at Hashut's Dark Ravagers or these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders. As Hashut's Dark Ravagers take the fight with the Warbearers, the Oath Brothers of Tor might have their Lightning up soon, which would lower the stats of the Hashut's Dark Ravagers enough to get damage out. But that Cascading Fire Cloak combo, yet again, getting them up to that 76 melee defense, that's really hard to bust through, even for these impressive Warbear Riders. And this could be a disaster. Fire damage reducing the healing these guys are getting from Silik's Lullaby, plus getting charged by the Source of Prophet of Fire, plus getting shot in the back. It is a really bad time as the Oath Brothers of Tor Lightning lowers everybody's stats, but a Burning Head is going to take out the Wolf Hearts. Everybody's taking damage everywhere as this blob fight has commenced. Oath Brothers of Tor taking a lot of damage. So are Hashut's Dark Ravagers, so is the Source of Prophet of Fire, and he's starting to think that he doesn't want to be here anymore. He is opting out as the Hobgoblin Wolf Riders continue to shoot in. Kosovo Dervishes fighting to the last man to try and keep the Chaos Dwarf Warriors off of Little Grom, and Little Grom took a bit of damage from fighting the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with their bows, but now he'll take a lot more while fighting Chaos Dwarf Warriors unless he just opts to run away. Oath Brothers of Tor down to 5 models out of 16 and 1,000 HP. Hashut's Dark Ravagers still hanging on in this fight, despite how much damage they've taken. Balance Power is about dead even 6 minutes into this game. And the infantry of the Chaos Dwarves continuing to pressure Kislev around the map. The Armored Kossars are almost dead. Same with the Wolf Hearts. I think they still have 2 of their nets left. Oh, they only have 1 of their nets left because they... Oh, okay. They literally just used it on the Sorcerer Prophet. So now they have 1 left, but they might not get to use it. They're very low. The Skirmish Cav with the Chaos Dwarves is being very patient, just constantly plinking away the Oath Brothers of Tor, trying to keep them honest. And these Warbear Riders are left to defend the rear guard. That'll be a problem. The Patriarch's not there to give them any healing, so any damage will start to stick. And it looks like he's maybe going back to reconsider that choice. The Oath Brothers of Tor do pop their By Our Blood passive, trying to stay in this game. Little Grom's continuing to kite away from the Chaos Dwarf Warriors as best he can. The Chaos Dwarves are winning the frontline fight across the map. The Warbears are all popping their By Our Blood passives. Things are getting real darn spooky here for Kislev. They don't have a ton left. Little Grom's kiting. He is faster than the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, technically. Let's see how long that can get him. Should get more done on the Dwarf Warriors, I feel. Yeah, Little Grom's just good in general. Void Laws gets to beat any noob because... Gets beat by any noob because he'll have to forfeit. Alright, nasty Overcast damage really hurts the Ice Witch of Tempest, but it does amazing damage. Takes out almost a full health Chaos Warrior. Chaos Warrior, yeah, I wish. Chaos Dwarf Warrior then routes off a Hobgoblin Wolf Raider, getting him to shatter. And then the Oath Brothers of Tor Lightning pushes down on the Hash's Dark Ravagers, and even with that Cascading Fire Cloak, the minus 24 melee defense plus 24 melee defense cancel out. They still have an impressive 52 melee defense, but it's not enough. They are pushed away, and the Oath Brothers of Tor have received a lot of healing. Their health bar is looking solid, despite the fact they only have 4 models. The other Warbear Rider is pushed off with 3 models. The Hobgoblin Wolf Raider is running out of models. Tons of ammo, but not a lot of models, as the Wolfhearts come back with barely any leadership and rout off the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders to buy the Oath Brothers Door a bit more time to heal up without being constantly poked down by that fire damage. Now, they still are flammable and weak to fire, because I think this guy fired his little fire pistol at him. But they're trying, man. They're trying. Little Grom is back. He's firing up at the big bull in the sky, as the big bull in the sky fires down on the big bears on the ground. The big bears on the ground churn through the Chaos Dwarf Warriors, and the Chaos Dwarf Warriors churn through the big bear on the thing with the healing, and the big bear on the thing with the healing says, "Hey, Ice Witch on the horse, where are you going?" And that's my whole thing, is Little Grom did a massive amount of damage to that Source of Profit Fire. Holy shit. Hobgoblins catch the Wolfhearts once again, not shattering them just yet. Things in the Woods killed off, it looks like Hash's Dark Ravagers. It's the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders with their bows. Honestly, this volley might rout those guys off. Under missile fire could be a debuff, but no, it looks like they're okay. Bounce power is about 50-50, and Little Grom has sang his last tune. He has yeed his last ha. He is dead. He's dead. That's where I'm going with this. Oath Brothers of Tor still trying to fight it out. Still 4 models, still healing up. Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders maybe going to save themselves from the things in the woods, but there is a big blizzard over here. Hello, blizzard. Say goodbye to 2 more Chaos Dwarf Warriors, though it looks like it's undercast, because it's doing way less damage than the previous one did, though Little Grom will die for his sins. And the things in the woods somehow hold on with that little leadership. Same with the Wolfhearts. All right, there we go. As soon as I say it, they shatter. And if they shatter too close to the Wolfhearts, nearby ally routing will take them too, so they need to be careful about that. Chaos Dwarves trying to come back over here and do something about this. Little Grom is dead, which is bad for Kislev. The Wolfhearts are here. They have 1 more pack trap left, though there's very little to punish it. No, they actually used all their pack traps. Nice Burning Head. Honestly nice. Maybe Cascading Fire Cloak could have been more worth it, but I don't know. He just wants to get rid of these guys. What? How are you still alive? 57 HP with a -8 leadership debuff due to burnt, and they have 10 leadership? What? No, they don't. They get charged by a giant bull, and they immediately tear her up, but that means he did have to land. He's right in front of these bears. The Warbear Riders are coming out to say words with him. He throws down a Cascading Fire Cloak on himself to provide a little bit of leadership. The Wolfhearts do shatter, and he's trying to trumble thump his way away back to his boys, back to the lads, back to the gits. The Ice Witch of Tempest has thrown out more blizzards than I've ever seen used ever, so she is out of Winds of Magic. I refuse to entertain the notion that she has another blizzard. It is just the Warbear Riders and the Patriarch versus all of these Chaos Dwarves. Can they do it? Doesn't that Red Bull have a breath attack? No, not this one. There's 2 bulls. One of the bulls has one does not. Oath Brothers of Tor, 900 HP and falling. Chaos Dwarves continue to try and slap them. Oath Brothers getting very low. We know they don't have our Buyer Blood anymore. They already used it. Their leadership is dipping. They tear her out. They're going to naturally rout. If this big boy can get back into the sky and just fly over the Oath Brothers of Tor and walk them off the map, that would be pretty huge, while he leaves the Chaos Dwarf Warriors and Hobgoblin Cutthroats to churn through this Ice Witch, to churn through the Patriarch. And how did they not rout? I know they were terror routing, but like I saw they were -3 for like a long time. But the Oath Brothers of Tor are back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Also tell a friend to fuck off, Oath Brothers of Tor. Just get out of here. Just get out of here. Big Bull continues to fight. He gets a big shot down to the Ice Witch of Tempest, and do not worry about that. That is the lightning attack of the Oath Brothers of Tor. It will lower the stats of the Chaos Dwarfs. Does a little bit of damage, but it is not like Heart of Winter or something. The Oath Brothers of Tor refuse to break. The Chaos Dwarf Warriors barely clinging on. Other Chaos Dwarf Warriors trying to rejoin the fight. And this big boy has a Chalice heal, so I think he's kind of hoping maybe the Ice Witch has 1 more spell left in her. But she does not. She gets hit. She gets knocked out here. She's terror routing, but then the Buyer Blood happens. Oh, that's going to be the infinite terror route. She's going to terror out until Buyer Blood wears off, so she's going to run very far away from her support. Even if she wanted to rally, she can't while Buyer Blood is active. It just keeps her terror routing. It's a long-standing bug. The Oath Brothers of Tor are down to 2 models, and they're finally naturally routing. But yeah, she could tease the terror out. She can't stop even if she wanted to. Can't stop, won't stop. She's getting shot at by fire grenades. Is this the turnaround of a turnaround of a turnaround? The Oath Brothers are dead. She's back, baby. But then her leadership spikes down to -28. She takes herself out. The big bull is like, can I help you? Hello? What are we doing here? Chaos Dwarves are fucking up the Patriarch. The Patriarch's stuck in the fight with the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. I think it's all over. I think it's all done. The Chaos Dwarves continue to fight it out. Another Cascading Fire Cloak to give this big boy some buffs, and the Patriarch has nothing left. He just can't do it. He just can't win. Ice Witch of Tempest not rallying just yet. Big shot onto the Patriarch. His Fire Blood passive is popped. Army losses could take that Ice Witch out forever. And I don't know, man. He'd have to have the craziest reversal of his whole life to, like, kill the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire and turn this shit around. It's not happening. That's army losses. Oh, boy. Losaurus wins it today in a stressful final game. A very stressful final game. Well played to both players. 3,500 for his caster, 2,000 on the Hash the Stark Ravagers, which is just a unit I have not seen a lot of, and he took like every game today. Other Bull Centaurs did okay. The Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders were the real heroes. Same with the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. They did a lot. Hobgoblin Cutthroats also did pretty good. For Dust Bunny, his Blizzard caster got the most value of any Blizzard caster I've ever seen. Both of his Warbears did excellently. The Patriarch did very well. Little Grom tried his best. The Wolfhearts also did pretty well. Armored Kossars were outmatched and outclassed, but they fought bravely until the very end. And then the Light Cav of Kislev got mostly massacred. That is it for the tournament. Losaurus is our winner for today. I will congratulate him later. Why am I being pinged? Okay, sorry. Ba-bum. Okay, I have given Losaurus his Bone Ripper roll that he earned. Good job, Losaurus. Well done. And now, for the rest of the stream, I will just cast some replays that I find interesting. I have 4 of them in front of me. Let me assess if I am reneging on any of these. Yes, I am, because one of these is literally the same player sent it. No, not the same player. Both players sent it to me. I saved it twice. So we have 3 games left to cast that I find interesting enough to do so. But if you were just here to determine who wins, then that part of the stream is over. We are going to cast 3 replays from the Swiss stage that I think are cool. First up, Galroch versus Renner, Ogre Kingdoms, and Vampire Counts. I took the blocker down, yes, good. Ogre Kingdoms versus Vampire Counts, a matchup that I personally think is Ogre's favored, though I haven't played it since the Ogre's nerfs. But even before that, people were saying it's easy for the Vampire Counts, and I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Chief. Triple Blood Knight, very good unit in this matchup. A Mortis Engine to do some good old training, and then a bunch of Skeleton Spears, Skeleton Warriors, Zombies, a Banshee, which is unique, but I do like it. She has that little banner that gives minus leadership, and she does do armor-piercing damage and stuff, so she's good. Blood Draining Vampire Lord, though he is on horseback, which is strange. His Helm of Discord and stuff will all still be very good, but Heart Piercing is going to suck now. Plus 50% armor-piercing weapon damage, but your weapon strength is very little armor-piercing, so it's not actually going to give you that much. On the other side for the Ogres, we have Mournfang Cav, Sabertusk Packs, Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, Morgul Bulls, some Iron Guts, Powder Guts, Man-Eaters with great weapons, Greasus motherfucking Goldtooth, and no caster on the side of the Ogres. Ooh, that is going to come back to haunt them very badly. Alright, we'll see what Greasus can do, but with no caster, the Ogres are at a severe disadvantage already. Sabertusk Packs getting Helm of Discorded and wrecked. The Blood Knights tearing through these guys. That's a good start here for the Vampire Counts. As Greasus shows up a bit late, pops down some of his buffs, tries to get a fight. Looks like those guys are just walking away from him for now. Ogre Kingdoms, Mournfang Cav getting isolated versus Skeleton Warriors and Blood Knights. They're going to have a bad time as Noblars and Ogre Bulls try and kill off some Skeletons and charge up Ogre Army passive. Man-Eater Pistols will need to shoot at the Mortis Engine at some point, and Greasus really kind of wants to shadow the Blood Dragon Lord. Anywhere he goes where the Blood Dragon Lord is, he's an excellent duelist and can fight that Blood Dragon Lord, but yeah, we'll see. Mournfangs and Saber-Tooth packs are back. They charge into zombies. That is a zombie summon, however, so it's not even a real unit. They're going to get countercharged by Blood Knights. So far, this bottom part has been a disaster for the Ogre Kingdoms. Man-Eaters and Iron Guts continuing to plow through the front line of zombies and Skeleton Spears. And the Mortis Engine plus Skeleton Spearmen kill off these Ogre Bulls. The Mournfang Cav are also pushed off on the other end. The Ogre Kingdom's taking some disadvantageous fights away from any of their support. Greasus is once again pushing through the Blood Knights to try and get to the Blood Dragon Lord. I like that target. I like it. Man-Eater Pistols are firing in. Blood Knights is an okay shot for them, but I mean, they really should just be killing off the Mortis Engine full free. Greasus is in there. Greasus is not swinging just yet. There he goes. He gets one swing off. And we do have Man-Eaters Great Weapons coming back to say hello. They will wreck Blood Knights if they actually get to fight them for a little bit. And the Tomb Kings. Too much Tomb Kings today. Vampire Count's front line is taking a lot of damage wherever the Ogres are in, which means that the Ogres probably have their Tier 3 army ability Butcher up. It's probably available. I'd use it on the Man-Eaters or the Powder Guts. Helm of Discord is out, but the Blood Knights are taking a ton of damage. Greasus is continuing to slap through them. Powder Guts could use that Tier 3 army ability right about now, if it exists. The Mortis Engine is coming back to say hello to this area. Meanwhile, the Tithe and other zombies are dove on by the Ogre Bulls with dual weapons. The northern side of the fight has been mostly abandoned by both sides. The Banshee's going to clean up a little bit. Some Blood Knights are chasing around Mournfang Cav, but no one cares about that side too much. There is the Butcher on top of the Powder Guts. We love to see that. And then a Stand Your Ground is popped, so this, all of a sudden, this southern side went badly for the Vampire Counts for the first time this game. Their Blood Knights took a lot of damage, and they lost some more zombies and things like that. Mortis Engine is now trying to get out of here, though. It's currently draining down all these Ogre Kingdoms units. And in melee, dude, the Ogre Kingdoms are not good at hitting the Mortis Engine. They tend to get in their own way too much, which is why I wanted the Powder Guts to be shooting at them. One of the Blood Knights is almost heal-capped already. Some Nobbler Trappers are firing in their little archer shots. The Banshee's trying to also get involved in the fight. Greasus does do magic damage, something I did not know, so this Banshee's actually going to have a terrible time if she fights him. That Mortis Engine's taking a bit of damage, but it's draining. It's slurping. The Ogre Kingdoms do not appreciate that slurp. They don't want it. Blood Knights will get a rear charge on the Nobbler Trappers. Should rout them pretty quickly. More Blood Knights are back in. Banshee's also in. The Powder Gut's taking a lot of damage. And there's Man-Eaters in here. There's Ogre Bulls with dual weapons. The Man-Eaters could back off and try and use their pistol shots. They don't have to be here. Iron Guts are routing as the Man-Eaters with great weapons continue to fight it out. Blood Knights getting lower. Vampire Counts are advantaged, and I definitely agree. Though the Mortis Engine is taking a lot of damage from the Nobbler Trappers, who have more than doubled their own pay. Continuing to fire in. The Mortis Engine's starting to crumble. It's starting to disintegrate even. It has to get Invocation of the Heck to keep it alive. I don't know if that'll be enough. We'll see as it starts to get out. Man-Eaters continuing to do battle. They have been in the thick of it this whole time. Man-Eater Pistols back off. There is a Blood Knight that is almost dead and gone. The Mortis Engine still healing up a little bit as it is technically still crumbling. And Greasus is after it. But the Blood Dragon Lord's going to get a rear charge on him. Greasus has to stop and fight. He can't just take rear charges like that. Full health Blood Knight from the further flank is here, though, and that'll definitely determine this matchup as the Powder Guts are pushed off. Man-Eater Great Weapons are also having a bad time. Even with Greasus Goldtooth throwing a Stand Your Ground out, that's not enough, and he is not staying to fight the Blood Dragon Lord, so he's just taking free damage in the back, which is really, really bad. Oof. Yeah, he got deleted entirely without fighting back at all. Massacre keeps him in the fight. It stops him from terror routing, but it's not going to stop him from naturally routing. And there he goes. That is going to be GG. Greasus was a bold pick, and you saw why. He's just too slow. He can't really get anywhere. Mournfang Cav got wrecked. Iron Guts and the Ogre Bulls didn't do that much damage value. Man-Eaters did great, both the pistol and the Great Weapon variant. Nobbler Trappers both did fine. Saber-Tooth Packs and Nobbler struggled a bit. The other side for Galroch, His Blood Knights did overall well. His Mortar Engine did overall well. Blood Dragon Lord did fine. Banshee didn't get a lot of value, but it was spooky. Spooky. Spooky, spooky. Okay. What do we got? 2 more games left for today. We have Tomb Kings Greenskins and then High Elves, Dark Elves. Oh boy! We have Losaurus and Renner, and then we have Olaf the Moose and Rogue Consultant. Let's do Olaf and Rogue. Losaurus was in finals and Renner was in the last replay, so we'll swap it up here. High Elves, Dark Elves. Can Tyrion and Shadow Warriors defeat Malice Darkblade and a fuck ton of Dark Shards? Also, did these guys just handshake to have an archer battle? Because we have 5 High Elf archers with 0 melee frontline versus 5 Dark Shards with shields. Jesus. Okay. I am suspect. I am suspect of the High Elf build. It's Chad. It's Chad energy. I don't know if it's going to be any good. We have Shadow Warriors and the Grey. We have Heralds of the Wind, Illyrian Reaver archers, then a basic Illyrian Reaver. And then archers? Then we have 5 archers, including the Talons of Torquelada. We have a Mage of Light with Barona's Time Warp and Net of Amnatok, the Fireborn and another Dragon Prince, and Tyrion. These archers are going to get walked at. Oh boy, they're going to get walked at. For the Dark Elves, we have a front line of Bleak Swords, secondary line of 5 Dark Shards, all of which have shields, one of which is the Bolt Fiends. Malice Darkblade, the Hellebron Sisters of Singing Doom, and a Dreadspirit. We also have some units in the far-flung reaches of space. 2 Dark Riders over there. Oh, and a Crow of Cain all the way on top of the thing. Hello. That's why I didn't see you. You're goddamn off the map. Hello, Crows of Cain. Welcome back. Malakos, Mystifying Miasma is casting the Herald of the Wind, doing a bit of damage to them. Poking them out. The High Elf archers are in range to start firing back at the silver-shielded Bleak Swords and closing upon them. Malice is super happy to fight some Illyrian Reavers. He's like, yes, please, thank you. And immediately takes a fight with them. He's going to pop some of his buffs, start fucking those guys up. Tyrion's in, though. Tyrion's a little harder for Malice to deal with. The Hellebron and Bleak Sword should be able to stop the Illyrian Reavers, though. Honestly, the High Elf archers are like, cool. They're stopping for the Illyrian Reavers. Let's shoot at them. Let's get that done. Decent poke on the Sorceress of Shadow. She's a small target with a little bit of missile resist. There's no net for her just yet. But the Dark Shards and all these guys are going to peel off the Illyrian Reavers. Tyrion did not stick around to get Rampage or anything like that. And the archers are still shooting at the Shadows Caster. They probably need to switch on the Sisters of Singing Doom or something, because it's very unlikely they finish the Sorceress of Shadows, and then she's still going to be an effective spellcaster. Archers getting run down by Bleak Swords. Now, Dragon Prince is trying to start charging through these Bleak Swords, getting good impact damage and pushing them back. As I say that, these guys did 0 impact damage for some reason. The Fireborn did a little bit more. The Grey and other Shadow Warriors are moving forward. They should be able to finish off the Dread Spears. Honestly, even just charging into melee while firing at them would be good at this point. Dark Riders are here for the Archers. Tyrion's trying to stop them, but it's a little... That ship has sailed. It is too little too late. Dark Shards kill off the Talons of Torquelada. Bleak Swords and Dark Riders are shutting down the other 3 archers. Dragon Princes have ridden forth to kill Dark Shards. So both sides just murdering each other's archers, for as far as we know. Barona's Time Warp is out onto the Fireborn, giving them more melee attack and speed as they charge down more Dark Shards. And the Crows of Cain have been vibing. They have been vibing. They're now coming back to deal with these Shadow Warriors. These other Shadow Warriors are, they ended up in melee with the Dread Spears, and they're doing very poorly. What the fuck? I thought they'd do a lot better. As the Grey help rout off these Dark Shards, all of a sudden the High Elves are looking okay. It appeared brutal for a little bit. Pit of Shades is going to miss the Grey because they dodged, but the Crows of Cain are on top of them. Dragon Prince is routing off a bunch of Dark Shards. 2 Dark Shards are still healthy and firing. A 3rd Dark Shard is healthy but not firing. And meanwhile, the Dark Elves have secured all of the archers of the High Elves are off the battlefield except for the Shadow Warriors. So overall, a pretty darn good trade for the Dark Elves. They do lose their caster to Tyrion. Tyrion walks up, deletes her. Yeetus deletus, said the Lord. But these High Elves are going without healing, so any damage the Fireborn and Dragon Princes take from the Dark Shards is going to come back and haunt them, and they're both clumping up on Malice, where he will fight them gladly, and they're getting shot by Dark Shards. So this is a bit of a disaster from the High Elves. They really need to focus on killing off the Dark Shards and ignoring Malice for now. Tyrion can duel Malice. Honestly, he can. You don't need to worry about it. The Dragon Princes need to stop all these Dark Shards. That could be the game, though. If these Dragon Princes don't get back into the Dark Shards, they're just going to take so much damage from them on the sides. Tyrion's trying to run over here, though he takes a billion years to kill off the Dark Shards. He will not kill them quickly at all. So, they need to switch jobs. The Dragon Princes need to be over here. Tyrion needs to be over there. Now, Malice is opting into a fight with Tyrion, which is exactly what Tyrion wants to do, but I think the Dark Elves have this game wrapped up, honestly. The High Elves had a weird build. They had a very weird build. That Dragon Prince is just about doomed. The Fireborn are at half HP. The Mage of Light is also at half HP. Everything else in the battlefield for the High Elves is kind of beyond help. I guess there's a half-health Shadow Warrior, but I'm sorry for not putting too much faith in Shadow Warriors. And there's Tyrion. Tyrion's fighting back against Malice. Abrona's Time Warp is out onto the Fireborn and the already routing Dragon Princes, but these Dark Shards are continuing to just poke away at our Dragon Princey friends. Tyrion's doing okay against Malice. Malice does have slow, constant healing that Tyrion doesn't have, and Fate Riposte is up. This looks like Malice is constantly attacking Tyrion, and Tyrion's distracted. He's mostly fighting Bleed Swords and stuff, so Malice is getting free shots in. That's going to be G. I believe, as Benny Hill music just slowly plays. As Tyrion gets chased around by Malice. Never turns to fight Malice, just fights archers and shit. So GG. Pull off the moose with the dub. Tyrion massacred his caster, but other than that, the Dark Shards were more than up to the task of clearing out High Elves. Dark Riders also did very well in the chaff front line. It did what it could. Got some good value in places. For Rogue Consultant, Dragon Princes did fine. Tyrion honestly did okay. It's just he's Tyrion, so he only gets what he can done. Shadow Warriors got decent-ish value, and then Archers mostly got run down and massacred. Goddamn, Joe Rogan. Okay. So delete that. Turn this off, and then this. This is the last game of the day. Last game of the day. Losaurus versus Renner. Tomb Kings versus Greenskins. With basic trolls, Savage Orc Biggins, Savage Orc Borbobiggins, Orc Boys, and Night Goblin Archers. That is a lot of spice in that Greenskin build. The other side for the Tomb Kings. Melee Shopti is a little spicy. Otherwise, this is a pretty solid build. For our final day of the gay, yes. It's two Deathcasters facing off. Arc in the Black with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna, then is summoned. Skeleton Spearman frontline, one Tomb Guard with Halberds. The Ushapti Greatbow, Regiment of Renown, Chosen of the Gods, two Sepulchral Stalkers, two Melee Ushapti, and then three Nehekar Horsemen. On the other side, we have Azag the Slaughterer in the sky with Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech. Nothing else. We have two basic trolls, four Squig Herds, two Night Goblin Archers, two Savage Orc Biggins, four Orc Boys, and then three Savage Orc Borbo Biggins underneath me in the trees. I am concerned about the Greenskins. Very concerned. Yeah. I think basic trolls are ass. Azhag without any of his abilities is just kind of meh. He's very meh. And his HP pool is not that big. The Spirit Leech Wars have started. We'll see how quickly the Orc Boys can deal with the front line, though their melee stats are meh. They're strangely like a tanky unit, which you don't need as Greenskins, you need to rush. Savage Orc Biggins do well, but we can already see the fate of them, as the Chosen of the Gods have teed off onto them, and now Nakara Horsemen are going to charge in and probably finish the job on these Savage Orc Biggins. That might just route them negative. Nope, 4 leadership, 9, they're rallying. Ah, there they go, they routed. We'll see what the Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins can do. I think the game is going to be decided by whether or not they can get in and do good work. Spirit Leech Duel, who'd win? Probably Arkin if it was just a Spirit Leech Duel, because he has Tomb King's Lore passive healing if he can get it, but I guess without his army dying, he wouldn't get that healing. But he does also have the cooldown reduction of the staff, so you get more done quickly. But, thanks, Lamb of Dog, and bye, Lamb of Dog. Chosen of the Gods trying to kill off the archers. The Orc Boy front line is engaged. These Nakar horsemen are falling back away from the squigs, but they need to get out there and shut down those archers, and they need to start rear charging over here. Sporkle Stalkers gonna catch out some Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins, though who's catching out who is really the question. As the other Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins get surrounded by King Catch Scorpion Legion and shot by Sporkle Stalkers, they are pushed away. Squigs have got to the Tomb Guard with halberds, and Tomb Guards with halberds are very happy to take that fight. As the Trolls stand back and try and defend Night Goblin Archers from the range damage, it's really not working out for them. The Spirit Leeches continue to get traded. Azhag is so far getting the better of it. Nekar Horsemen trying to stop the Night Goblins and Squigs from joining the fight at any point in time. Azhag dives down into the Chosen of the Gods. We'll see if anybody can do anything about that. And both Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins on the high ground are pushed off. Even the ones that just got a fight with Sporkle Stalkers fucking lost somehow. Third one is also pushed away. And I think that might be an early GG. If the Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins got dicked that hard on the exact fight that they wanted, then there is no shot in this game for the Greenskins. No shot. Melee Ushapti pushing these guys back. A troll is routing at almost full HP. Another troll at full HP for now. We'll see how long he lasts. Apparently not long in these parts. Sporkle Stalkers are more than happy to come down here and shoot at Azhag. Azhag's taking big damage while getting Spirit Leech and fighting Arkan. He does take the duel to Arkan for a little bit with his own Spirit Leech. Maybe he can snipe out the Tomb King's Caster and Lord and make things a little easier on his army. Maybe, possibly, maybe. The Sporkle Stalkers are starting to shoot him in the butt. Chosen the Gods poking away at him. But Azhag is determined to keep fighting. His leadership is not very good without his multiple leadership items and abilities. He didn't take any of them, so he actually is kind of cowardly. He's thinking about retreating here, but he's getting good damage onto Arkan for now. Downhill charges from the Savage Orc Boarboy Biggins. A Wah barely keeps him in the fight. That immune to psychology, reducing the fear that they were going to take and keeping him in it. But Sporkle Stalker shooting them in the side. It looks like they are going to rout off after all. Arkan does chuck out a Skeleton Warrior summon. There's a Ushapti summon coming up behind the Greenskins. But the Greenskins, even with Savage Orc Biggins, even with Orc Boys, are still slowly working through that front line. And it's just not going well for them. Another Spirit Leech out onto Azhag, who's trying to get back into the sky for now. Arkan's at 1,600 HP. Azhag is at about 2,000. And the Sporkle Stalkers, just slam him with a volley. That's going to rout Azhag. He does Spirit Leech Arkan on his way out. And Staff of Nagash is cast to reduce Arkan's cooldowns. I wonder if he can overcast Spirit Leech on Azhag as he's retreating, because that might push him off the map. Chosen the Gods are going to try and shoot at him. He's not the biggest target, but if they can get a little bit more poke, they can rout him again. Especially if he rallies only to rout again, that would be a free second rout that you get him closer to shattering. Yeah, he's going to get a free second rout. And he just dies! Oh my god, the Chosen Gods actually managed to kill him. Well, without him, army lost its hits. Chosen Gods did great. Sporkle Stalkers did really, really well. Melee Ushapti did fine. And then the Tomb King's front line held. So they did good. For Renner, Azhag honestly did alright. Alright's just not enough. And, like, I'm a part of NC. There are people in NC that will swear by Orc Boarboys and Orc Boarboy Biggins. When Wurzag was OP, which he was, when Wurzag was OP, I used Boarboy Biggins a lot. Because Wurzag could make them good. Without Wurzag, I have abandoned them. And I don't regret it. Whenever I take those guys where I'm like, I need some anti-large armor piercing here, I guess I'll take Boarboy Biggins. I'm always like, man, fuck this unit. Don't know why I took it. It's hot garbage. And I can't say I disagree with that assessment right now, as these guys sucked and died. Savage Orc Biggins got mostly murked. Trolls got mostly murked. Archers didn't get to fire very long. Orc Boys got pushed off. And Squigs did well. What would you take as Tomb Kings versus Greenskins? As who? As the Greenskins? Actually who? As the Greenskins or as the Tomb Kings? Let's see. Greenskins versus Tomb Kings, huh? I would probably put Azhag on foot. Because on foot he has 5,000 HP, and on Skullmuncher he has 7,000. So you get 1,800 more HP for 800 gold. I don't see that as being, honestly, enough. So I would take just Spirit Leech, and then these. Sliga slashes and get on with it, Spirit Leech. And just keep his leadership really, really, really high. So they pretty much have to kill him off because he has a passive 12 leadership with these two things on. So do that. Another thing you could do is you could still go Wurzag. These are both equally acceptable. You could still go Wurzag and then just go with Brain Burster and Fists of Gork. Cut that. Cut Bonewood Staff because it sucks now. Get Spleen Ripper because you need the HP, because without it, his HP is actually really, really low. You want Power of the Wall as your only Winds of Magic regen, because none of Wurzag's powers. So you have Power of the Wall, and then you have Squiggly Beast. I thought there was another one, but you don't need them, because none of them give you more reserves. They just make you go through the Winds of Magic you have faster. So it doesn't matter. Like, this one's 80%, it's fine. So I take him with his net, and then these two spells on his Squig. He costs about the same as Foot Azhag. Either way, you're going to get Spirit Leech sniped to death, so it doesn't matter. So I'd probably go with Azhag. But if you really want to go Wurzag, it's acceptable. I think those two are your options. I tried Grom. He got killed very quickly by Bone Giants, or Ushabti Great Bows, or Spirit Leech. Grom just feels really squishy. I don't know why. Anyway, do that. I would go with the 8 Peak Loons, and then 2 Spinning Loons to help clear out the skeletons in the front line nice and quick. A couple Savage Orcs, too. Because they get the same work done against Tomb King's frontline that Biggins get, pretty much. So you still get what you want out of them, they're just a lot cheaper. So I'd have that be your frontline. We saw Squigs do pretty well, so probably 3 Squigs here. So with the Fanatics and the Savage Orcs, you can actually bust through the frontline okay. Both the Skirmish Cav are good, the armor-piercing ones, because they can hurt Ushabti Great Bows in melee with their armor-piercing shots that they'll fire. And the Death Creep is because they'll regenerate. So those guys are good for a bit of your mobile contingent. You can get some trolls. I don't actually usually take trolls versus Tomb Kings at all. I just haven't found them that helpful. A couple Orc Armor Boys can be okay. The Rusty Arrows are good to sunder the armor of Ushabti and help out your backline a little bit. 1 Orc Boar Chariot to just cause some disruption, cause a bit of kerfuffling. And then Durkin Squig Hoppers and other Squig Hoppers can do okay because of their armor piercing. I mean, sure, they only have a bonus versus infantry, but they're ITP, and you'll get some Waz off, so they can do okay. Or, if you absolutely have to, you can get some Orc Boar Biggins, I guess, if you have to, but I fucking hate them. I despise them so much. I don't know, something like that. You could either get 2 more Squig Hoppers, and then spend some gold elsewhere, or get 2 Orc Boar Biggins and then, like, downgrade this to a Goblin. Something like that. If you're asking what you would take as the Tomb Kings? As the Bonies? Okay. As the Bony Boys, Akin with his summon and his thingy, then on his horsey, and then with Spirit Leech and nothing else, and then fuck Curse, and then fuck Liber Mortis, and that's fine. So that's your Lord. Skeleton Spear frontline is good. I would take 4 Skeleton Horse Archers because they're really annoying and they're really cheap. Chosen Gods is okay, but actually not that amazing versus these guys. A Bone Giant was really good versus me, as I was playing this with Moore, and I tried taking Ground the Paunch, and a Bone Giant just wrecked his shit. So Bone Giant could do pretty good. 1 or 2 Scream Skull Catapults. You mostly want it for the take cover debuff, but also there's a second debuff that just getting shot by artillery does. So these two can be a good ranged component and just annoy the shit out of the Greenskins. Get a couple Carrion to harass their archers in the backline if they have them. In case your Skeleton Horse Archers get peeled off by boars or something, your Carrion can still land. I would recommend Skeleton Chariots because they feel like they'd be good in this matchup, but I feel like every time I try to take them into Greenskins, they just get caught on something and die, like Squigs or Trolls, so I guess just abandon that front. Then what else are we dealing with? Sporcle Stalkers are almost always good. Grab 2 of them. We saw how amazing they did in this last replay. And then I don't hate the melee Ushabti we saw, so what would it take to take 2 of them? 415? You could cut a Skeleton Horse Archer and call that good. Could also cut a Carrion and then downgrade 2 of your spears to basic swords. That could be good. If you don't want to take the Bone Giant, if you want to go more standard, then let's get our front line back to what it used to be. Screw Skull Catapult's still good. It's just like the debuff that you can put on the greenskins and really pressure them down. Melee Ushapti, you're still fine here. Pretty solid. And then you could just get a basic Ushapti Great Bow instead of the Bone Giant. But I don't know about the Chosen of the Gods. I don't really know if they're that important here. So I might just go with the basic Melee Ushapti. Skeleton Horse Archers are kind of nuts, though. Like, they're not going to get thousands of value, but they're only 475. Especially in a matchup with a mortal faction that has low leadership and lowish armor. They can do decent damage while poking around with their bows, but if you rout anything, they'll just chase it down for the rest of the game, which is important. You can't let the greenskins get their second and third wind. You really need to rout them once and make sure they stay off the battlefield, which is what the Skeleton Horse Archers do. So I think they're really key in this matchup. Greenskins don't have a Burning Headcaster or Tomb Guard any good in the matchup. I would say no. I would say no to the Tomb Guard just because the greenskins are really good in melee. And the Skeleton Spear is already held for a long time, so I don't know. It's not where your damage is coming from. And like I was just mentioning, even though you guys are behind a delay, but like, as I was just mentioning, greenskins, Skaven, Beastmen. Beastmen is harder because they're really good in mobility. So let's just stick on greenskins and Skaven. The best way to beat greenskins and Skaven is to rout them once and never let them come back. Don't let them get their second or third wins. That's the easiest way to beat them. So the Tomb Kings, like, they have a ton of shooting that they can rout stuff, but if they can't chase it down, then it'll just come back. Like, Trolls will regenerate, Ground the Paunch will regenerate, they'll cast more Spirit Leeches on you as Hag flies around or something like that. They'll charge up another Wah. They'll recover their stamina so they get a little bit more leadership for another charge. Things like that you just really don't want to happen. Anyway. I'll get going now. See you all. My next scheduled stream is Saturday for NC versus ODM. I might stream before then, but I can't guarantee it. We'll see how work lines up. Goodbye.